Let's see. Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Hi, please tell me you can hear
Can
us.
they hear us?
What should we get them to say
Hello, they say.
in chat just to make sure they can hear us? Say Aloy?
They say they can hear us, but maybe it's a deception.
Maybe it's. I know. They did that last time. They lied. They can hear us. Okay, so
Lovely, amazing.
I think it was just the title screen that was a little, little odd. Aloy. Oh, Anna says Aloy. Thank God. Okay, your voice is reaching our speakers. Thank the
That
Lord.
works.
All
Hi,
right,
everyone.
hello everybody. Welcome. I know it's a different day, different time, but today's a special day. It is on a Friday, the stream, but it's because today Horizon Forbidden West Complete Edition has launched. Yay, happy launch day. It's been very exciting here, very busy. Just before Marion came up, I was like running around and she was like, I'm already in the stream room. I was like, I'll be right there. I'm grabbing a loaner laptop and everything. Hello everyone, bonjour Marion, we can hear you. Perfect.
A few French friends I might have talked
Yeah?
about this.
Oh my
I
gosh.
think we might have more Frenchies than usual in the
They have
chat.
they have to say hello. They have to do a little call out for you. Happy launch day. Yes, it's been pretty exciting. We're so glad that Horizon Forbidden West is out there in the world for more people to enjoy.
Yeah. And
hopefully
soon for even more people.
Exactly, because
Super
we
exciting.
did announce that it is coming to PC early 2024. We're really pumped about that. I'm a
Yeah.
huge PC gamer, so I'm also very excited. But as you know, today we have a very special dev stream planned. I'm joined by Marion Allard herself. Marion, why don't you introduce yourself to the community? Tell us, what your job title is and what you do.
Yeah, sure thing. So hi everyone. That's funny because there's a lot of names I recognize from the community, like from fan art, from fan fiction, etc. So that's like really exciting. I'm so super pumped to be here. So I'm a senior conversations designer. So that means I work in the cinematics team, and on Horizon Forbidden West, I was working with a small conversations team to make all the interaction that Aloy has. Well. A lot of the interactions that Aloy has with non-player characters, mostly in the side quests and errand quests, but also a chunk of the main quest. We're gonna see some of that today. Yeah, we're gonna actually. This is like a super nice starting spot you picked for us. Sorry, they can't see it yet.
Yeah, so they can't see it yet, but basically we had to start the new game because of Complete Edition launching, and I quickly had to play through the beginning because we decided that the best place for us to start the game with Marion's insights and things that she wants to share is in Chainscrape.
Yeah.
So I had to play through the beginning very quickly. The Slitherfang did sort of knock me out a little bit. So we are actually ready to start from Chainscrape, but basically what Marion is here to do is she's going to share some really cool stories, a lot of insights. When we were prepping for the stream, just so you know, Marion is very excited to be here and talk to you all. And she was telling me this one story yesterday when we were prepping, and I was just laughing my head off, and she was asking me, can I share that story with the community? I was like, you have to. Like, you have to share this story. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah. I'm excited for that. No, that's like I was running through my head like this. It's really exciting to be able to like talk a bit about the stuff we do because we do.
You did a lot.
We do a lot of cool stuff in cinematics and conversations. Like it's a lot of creative problem solving, etc. So it's just getting to talk about that, and like I have a ton of fun like stories to share, anecdotes to share, a lot of stuff. So I'm just I'm
very excited.
And I might have brought some stuff to show as well, but that's
you can't see it too well.
I'm not spoiling
maybe
it.
in the corner.
No.
I feel like they can see it a little bit, but we'll
we
share
go,
some
sneak
stuff. We'll share some stuff. Marion brought some cool stuff to show as well. If you haven't read it yet, we also did publish a blog very recently just talking about how the Guerrilla teams bring characters to life. Marion was one of the folks that I spoke to, and I learned a lot, I guess, even just from that initial, like when we had the Zoom chat talking.
Yeah, because also that's actually a good point, because I ran ahead with a bit with Chainscrape. Sorry, I should explain what my job actually is. Because when people hear conversations designer, they often assume I like write the conversations. And,
that's what I thought.
Yeah, too, and I'm not a writer. We work very closely with the writers.
Yeah.
Our job is assembling the cinematics. So, I'm going to talk about a lot in details, but like we work with the actors to like we we time out the voice acting, and then we work with body actors to shoot the mocap, which is a really exciting part of my job. And then we assemble that. We assemble the cameras that get made by another team, and the props, and we put the characters in the world. Like basically, we just assemble the conversation in the game. And we, of course, we get the script from the writers. We work with them, and then we kind of, our role is more, you know, like, if we were making a movie, like, okay, how do we put that on
I was just going to
scene?
say, in the blog, you had, one of the answers you had given me was that it's more similar to movie making than
because
this
Horizon Forbidden West is a very cinematic game, right? So, the cinematics, we kind of work at it like we would tiny movies, and then it's like, okay, how do we kind of work with the script to make it work on screen? And that's our job.
So I really recommend, the PS5 is going to go into power savings. Let me just move that. So if you haven't checked out the blog, go read it. Marion gave a lot of really cool insights there, but also from several other people on the team. And I think based on what you gave me for the blog, you're basically going to be expanding. It's basically like a conversations design stream, and there's a lot to talk about. So, and there's a lot of stories. So one last point I'd forgot to say. I've been working here for 5 years, so I haven't worked on Horizon Zero Dawn or Frozen Wilds. But you were a fan.
Yes, that's actually a really interesting. Thank you for bringing it up. Yeah, I applied here because I was a gigantic fan of Horizon Zero Dawn, like really big fan. And then, like many people, I didn't really realize that Guerrilla was actually in the Netherlands. You know, like that's something that people often think it's actually in the US.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
okay.
I think I even heard that I even heard a few years ago. Apparently, at conventions, we were giving out little clogs with a Guerrilla logo on them, so that people would remember that the studio is in the Netherlands.
That it's actually a Dutch studio. Oh, okay.
So just like I was also kind of.
Is it because the game is like set in the US?
You know, I hadn't. Yeah, I was like, I really, really loved the game.
Did any of you think that?
Well, we'll see. But so you know, I hadn't realized just how close it was because I'm French. And then a friend told me, Marion, like you do realize because I worked at another game studio before.
And where were you before?
At Ubisoft.
Oh, okay.
For 5 years. I worked on Mario plus Rabbids game.
Very
the first
cool.
one.
Very cool. Gamers working for other games.
And then and after that, like a friend told me, man, did you realize like they are 3 hours away and you could apply? And then I applied and.
Wait, so you thought they were in the States too? Like
well, I hadn't. You know, I hadn't checked. I kind of assumed. So I thought that was much further than that, you know. But so I applied here and got hired to work on cinematics, and it's been just an incredible journey since. It's been 5 years.
5 years.
So I came in fairly early in the production of Forbidden West, and I worked on Burning Shores as well. So DLC.
So just for the community to know, a lot of people who do work at Guerrilla are fans of Guerrilla even from before. Like when I played Zero Dawn and I visited Amsterdam, I had walked by the old office accidentally, and then I just posed in front of it. I remember Guerrilla had liked the tweet, which I'm pretty sure now is Anna. Like we had engaged through that. So a bunch of us even working on the game and on Forbidden West, like we are fans of the game. So we're right there with you.
No, huge. Like it's so. I mean, working on something that you're a fan of is really special.
Cool.
It's also, you know,
and you get to put a part of yourself in the thing that you work on.
You do also like see how the sausage is made. You know, like for example, well, you know, even if you work on cinematics, you have no hope of playing the game unspoiled ever.
I mean,
that's gone.
So you'll know the entire game, but it's a different way of experiencing it. So all right, shall we get into the game itself and kind of hear basically we're gonna play the game and just hear your commentary. It'll be like director's cut version almost, kind of like conversations designer cut.
Please feel free, you know, to direct me or stop me. I will just be ranting, so you know.
We will just go with it. We'll just go with the flow. And
is there anything I'm not supposed to say I can say right now while Narae is not paying attention?
Maybe you could talk a little more about
Yes, no, I will. Also, I see there's Mario plus Rabbids fan in the chat, so that makes me happy. I didn't expect to talk about that game today, but okay, let me see. I've been working here for 5 years. So my job is kind of split in 2 parts. One part is working with the actors here and the Guerrilla studio to shoot some mocap, so some motion capture, and so. We'll show more of that in the game in a second, but basically we have the dialogue track running, and then we work with Dutch actors here locally in the mocap studio downstairs. Oh, game has appeared.
Yes.
All right, well, Tune in later for the rest of that story. I'll finish the story, yeah. So we work downstairs here in the mocap studio with Dutch actors to create the body animation. So that's a really fun, like, creative part of the job where we get to really be on stage and work with the actors. And then the second part of our job is we take those animations, we take all the other parts, and we work with, for example, the layout artists to do the cameras, and the writers, etc., and the quest designers as well, to assemble the game, so in the actual engine. And so that's the part of our work that's at our actual desks. And so the reason I really, really love my job is because, as you can already see, it has this, it's like at the crossing between creative and technical.
Yes.
Like I deal with a lot of technical questions, but also we work with the actors and we do creative stuff.
Well,
did you save the day?
Good thing that that worked out with you explaining more about what you did. Audio check 1 2 3.
Is Narae back?
Apparently my mic had a clicking sound, but please let me know if that's better. Let me know if you hear bad clicking from me. No more clicking. Was I a clicker? Apparently I was like clicking. We're all good. Okay, so it seemed like it was the game works. I guess.
And for the record, we were here yesterday and this didn't happen.
This did not happen. And I just did another run through, and it was just a matter of turning on the game screen, as Shantae kindly helped.
But this is also, by the way, something you hear very commonly in the day-to-day of a developer, which is it works on my machine, or it works yesterday. We call this the demo effect. The second you're trying to show something cool to someone,
that's when it. Well, I'm glad that the community is here for the ride, and you experience this with us. This is what it is to work here at Guerrilla. Clicking. Narae is part. Yes, I'm part dinosaur, but hopefully I don't click anymore. The game works. We are at Chain Scrape.
We are ready.
So. Are we ready? Yeah, so you had to prepare a little bit, right? Yesterday you were kind of training a little bit.
Oh, yes.
I had to do a little bit too.
Yes, because I've been, I think I was telling you, but I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy 16 lately, which is an amazing game.
Anyone else playing Final Fantasy 16?
Little free ad for them. No, but it's a really good game. Yeah. However, it is a game that has a completely different control scheme to this one. And then I realized that
is the y-axis inverted?
Let me see.
For you?
I think it might be.
Yeah, because
Oops, not for the mode.
I play with the y-axis inverted.
Yes,
oh, it is. Sorry.
I'm gonna reset that. It's all good. But yes, so I realized my muscle memory was very wonky, and I didn't want shame myself by being the dev who completely forgot how to play the game she worked on.
You know what? It's okay. It's happened to us too.
Game loud, apparently.
The game is loud. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think that was the issue yesterday. Do you want to go into the game screen and let's bring down the master audio a little bit? I platinum Final Fantasy 16. Says Fall Nectotonic. Did you platinum it? Or
I'm there soon.
You're gonna go. Marion's almost there.
Yeah, let's see. So just bring.
Def a Raptor. Oh, thank you, RP. You know what? That's great. Let's bring it down to. Let's try 60.
60. All right.
Yeah, let's try 60. And let's walk around a little bit before we go. Okay, community. How is the game audio now?
How is that?
You know what? You're creating this stream with us. Basically, it's great.
Great.
Okay,
all right.
Perfect.
All right, let's go and let's talk.
Yeah.
Actually, this is one of the scenes that is main quest, but that the conversation team worked on. This conversation that's going to happen right here when we're going to enter Chain Scrape.
Nice. So everyone, as we sort of watch these conversations, I know from the other streams we talk, we have a good time, but for this stream, because Marion is here, we have an expert with us. Let's try to break it down. Let's try to analyze it.
But if you guys have like specific questions about
ask it in the chat.
Anything, like please feel free. Like you're gonna filter.
Yeah.
Like,
that's why Marion's here.
Petra.
It's Petra.
It's Petra. And some of my favorite expressions and interactions in the game right here.
Oh, right here?
yeah. This is actually already interesting, right?
Yeah.
Well, this conversation has a ton of interesting stuff happening. First off, it's you can see they're moving through town, which is which is quite difficult to do because you're dealing with a lot of characters walking around them, and so you have to kind of. It's pretty hard because the characters in the back, you might have noticed also in your own playthroughs, they are just
they're doing their own thing,
and depending on what time it is in the day, they're doing their thing. So you have to kind of make sure they don't intersect with what's happening here.
Like walking through you,
Exactly,
or
this kind of stuff. And also more creative terms, something really interesting here, especially because this is the beginning of the game, and part of Aloy's arc, right, is that she has to learn to like trust and connect with other people. And so on this scene, this is a really good example of that, because we wanted to create, like, Petra is an excellent character to create this contrast, because Petra is extremely friendly, she's flirtatious,
boisterous, and like
she is and so she has no difficulty at all being physically affectionate, again flirtatious, and so you could see already in the beginning when she like touches Aloy's elbow, and for Aloy, like, showing affection, being friendly is it doesn't come as naturally, and so you could see, which is also why the expression was so great, is that she prefers being in the wild generally, right? Like interacting with society, with people, that's something that she's still learning. That's like a big part of her arc in this game. And so this entrance conversation here, but then also the bit that Petra just invited us to in the tavern is a really good example of that.
All right, shall we go?
Show that?
Yeah, so we're going to go into the tavern, because I love that conversation too, because it's
one
so
of my
much fun.
Absolute favorites. We're going to talk to Petra immediately.
Congrats to the whole Cinematics Conversations team, says CM Dr. Disco Cat. You did a stellar job, and what you did in Forbidden West is miles above what was already good in Zero Dawn. Also, Petra!
Okay, here we go. I'm already shaming.
Osram through and through.
Because I'm like, where is the tavern again? Because Death Secret, that typically we can just start wherever we want. And so I'm like, where is
And
the
that's
tavern
what
again?
you had to, in the blog, you had written that specifically too, right?
Let me remember.
So the title of the next one is Horizon Aloy Needs a Hug. Grace asks, do you need a lot of cinematography type knowledge too for your role?
That's a really good question. So help me find the tavern.
The tavern, wait, there's the entrance is in there, right?
Yeah. Yes,
because you have to go in and then go
It has been a little while. Thank you. Saved the day twice already.
Developers too, okay?
It has been a little while. I've worked on DLC since, you know. It's honestly, because there's so much content, right? I'm going to answer the question, by the way. Because there's so much content, it's kind of like sometimes cramming like for an exam. It's all in your head and then it's gone.
You're also remembering this when it was like blocks and stuff, right?
Yes, exactly.
So.
But yeah, to answer the question, so our cinematic director, Ishmael Ore, was actually came from movies for exactly that reason, because and we're gonna see it in the conversation as well. Here we go. This is the first really complex conversation I worked on. So
complex.
Because lots of things happen. You can see. So they're interacting with the drink. Here comes the server. She's like, she is
bringing it down.
She's putting it down. There's people around that are interacting with. There's people to the right, people to the left. Like they're interacting with objects. She's standing up, like the blocking, so like how their position is complicated.
What is blocking?
So that's kind of, it's the first version of how characters are going to be positioned and move in the scene. And so you can see this is complex.
So it's like person A is here, person B is here. That's one type of blocking.
Yeah, basically speaking. But so you have this guy there who is also interacting with them. You have the people in front of them. So a lot of stuff is happening. And also, again, this is an excellent scene where Aloy is kind of a little bit out of her comfort zone, because she is...
You can tell, too, because she's kind of
surrounded by people.
Stiff.
Like, you can also see how she was like, should I drink this? Right, I'm not too sure. Because, like social conventions are not as easy for her. That's kind of a big part of her. And so, again... I remember, so we worked with the actors in the mocap studio for this scene, right? And we really worked with them to create, this contrast of, Petra obviously being like knows Aloy, knows her boundaries, so being respectful, but also being friendly. Lots of gestures, very expressive. Sometimes, like I think there's a moment where she like lightly punches her on the shoulder, this kind of stuff. And Aloy obviously wants to connect with
like
Petra.
This.
She likes Petra. She knows her. She's happy to see a friendly face. But also, this is still, a lot of people around and some unfamiliar territory for her. Like drinking. That's not something she does that often. and this kind of things.
You
And
can
then-
even tell, like after they're done talking and you're lingering on the choices screen, they're
Yeah.
still moving and stuff, and that was part of like the immersion you all
Yes.
wanted to create, right?
That's also a really good point because well, next time you play the game, if you like, you can linger indeed in these player choice screens a little bit. Because they are quite funny to shoot with the actors because we need.
Oh, do they have to like?
Yes.
So it's not just like 2 seconds and then you loop it. They
No,
have to like
absolutely not.
keep doing it.
We have.
I didn't know that. That's
we
funny.
typically have from 30 to 45 seconds of the characters. Yeah,
Can you
here,
imagine
this bit?
So the actors are sitting there and they're just doing this.
Yeah,
for
well,
40
you can
seconds.
see it here. This is the actors, and so what we do is we go, okay, well, we're gonna shoot a player choice action from now, and they have to kind of, idly do these kind of natural, and we do try to keep some of the energy of the scene in this, right? Which here you can definitely see, like again, Aloy looking around, like they're looking at each other. It is quite funny and also sometimes awkward to shoot. Obviously, because it's. I don't know if you've tried looking at someone silently for 30 to 45 seconds.
That's so awkward.
Actors,
I can't say that I've done that. I mean, you probably have.
Actors, I haven't, but the actors do, and I can actors are amazing.
Yeah, I'm sure. Doing this for 40 seconds.
Imagining the awkwardness. So but sometimes it is a little awkward as well in the game. So it helps, I guess. But and they are all bespoke, by the way. So every time, because every conversation is shot bespoke. Like there's.
So what do you mean by that?
So there's very little motion capture that we reuse. Every conversation in the game, we went in the mocap studio and
every single conversation is its own like you guys shot that.
Yes, we had
individually. There was no copy paste.
There's very little. Sometimes we were like, oh no, we forgot this. Okay, maybe we can reuse this tiny bit.
But like the way that the actors did. So every conversation you see in most of it is. Like all the actors shot that.
Yes,
distinctively. Distinctly.
It's distinct from everything else. Yeah. It's so we shoot that downstairs. We have a little crew of local Dutch actors that we work with who are now very, very used to the process.
Yeah.
And so we work with them every single scene, and so every player choice as well. Like that's right. Every player choice, like this lingering moment, is also bespoke to the conversation.
Yeah. So there's nothing. Yeah. Awkward silence over 9,000. I always wanted to know how this linger scene was made. It's so interesting and adds a lot. Yeah.
Just like the rest, we shot all of it. The same. There's very, very little we reused. Also because it's also for technical reasons. Like reusing some stuff is like it's not actually that easy because they're all in very specific positions, and and so sometimes it might be more work to modify the animation to reuse rather than just shoot one. Especially when we're very lucky, right? Because we have a mocap studio downstairs.
Yeah, we have it right down.
So, what else to say about this scene? Lots of explanations about chain scrape, about how that works.
That must require a lot of planning before mocap to avoid missing information if most of it is unique.
Indeed,
a lot of planning, I'm sure.
That is like half the work of motion capture is preparation. Is being sure. So we have the scripts in advance, and we have the voices, and we time out. So just to explain really quick, there's two types of cinematic and conversation work in the game. So big cinematics, especially for big cinematics, we have some of what's called full performance, where the same actor will be the voice, the face.
That actually just answers DJ Techrat's question, because they were asking, when building interactions, are the named character actors in the same place? Like when Silence, rest in peace, Silence, and Aloy are talking, was it Ashley and Lance?
That's exactly.
So Marion is
for big complex scenes, we have what's called full performance, where the actors are indeed, and it's indeed Ashley and Lance in the suits. Interacting, and their voice is recorded at the same time as their face and their body movement. But then for like process reasons or flexibility or things like that, because especially for side quests and things like that, things change a lot. Yeah. So we have to be very flexible. Yeah. And so for that reason, we have. I need to play the game.
No, explain that. Like I can also play. Well, I can linger around if you want to explain.
Then for this content, we will have the actors. So actually Ashley for Aloy, etc. records the voice and the face.
And that's when Jochen and
Yes,
Yeah,
correct.
voice,
Yeah, when we have your
Yeah.
directing
Yeah.
the voice recording, and the face get recorded from the voice actor at the same time. But then we get that voice and we time it out in a manner that sounds natural.
Yeah.
And we work then with Dutch local
With the
actors
mocap
here
actors,
downstairs.
yeah.
And so a lot we have this crew, and so with my lead, we will like think about which of our group of actors will be good to play this or that character.
Yeah.
They sometimes they will be very good at playing boisterous characters.
Yeah.
And so on
And we
and
have
so forth.
we'll share some stuff later as well. Marion has a lot of content that she wanted to show, so we're gonna share something like that later. But we'll get to it soon. We will get to it.
Okay. Let me see. What's another really good conversation here? Oh yeah, there's the one with Olvent. Let's see. Let's go visit Olvent.
Ooh.
That's over here. Yeah, I remember this. Yep. It has been a long time. It's wild. Oh, I
mean,
like
I'm
this
sure,
one as
I'm
well.
sure.
That's from the Lokasha quest. We need to speak to Lokasha first if I want to talk to this guy over there.
At least you remember some of the.
Yeah, that's so I have a pretty good memory for character names and also like quests and stuff like that. So
I mean, it is your job.
but like also when when I first arrived, I had played I had Platinum Horizon Zero Dawn, so I remember Horizon Zero Dawn very well.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
I'll tell the extended story of that later.
Tell that story later. But
it has
your nickname.
It really has perks being a big fan, because a lot of sometimes the team will rely on that, and and so sometimes the team calls me the Horizon Wiki.
The Horizon Wiki.
Yeah, but to okay, Marion, questions like Marion, what Tanakh tribe is this character from again, things like that.
Yeah,
because
I mean, there's a lot, and there's a lot of different disciplines that all these guerrillas work in, and it's just impossible for every single person to know every single thing, right? Everyone has a specialty.
Yeah. The thing is, when you have a fan, you're really excited when new scripts come in. So I would, as soon as a new script would drop, I would immediately go, oh, what's happening?
It's like you're getting the first peek.
Yeah, it's very exciting. Olvent, here we go.
I have another question. Are the sit-down conversations markedly different from the standing ones? Like with this jerk face?
There are indeed some specific stuff we need to pay attention to.
Like moving around, standing.
Yes. So for the motion capture, as you may know, motion capture works with a lot of markers. Actually, I have a picture. Here's the first bonus.
Should we pause it? Or can we pause it?
Pause really quick.
Let's pause, because Marion wants to show us a picture as she's answering this question.
Yeah. So just to remind everyone what a motion capture suit looks like. Let me just get closer.
Can you see it? It's a little dark, but we can also share it. Yeah. Yeah.
But this is Peggy, who's one of our Dutch actresses who plays Aloy most of the time, and she is currently in a mocap suit. And so as you can see, it's mostly in the yellow bits here. You have a lot of little ping pong balls, smaller. Attached to the suit.
If you go see a lot of behind the scenes stuff, we have some behind the scenes stuff as well. You'll see that they're wearing this.
Also, if you look at stuff like Gollum from Lord of the Rings, etc. If you look at behind the scenes for that, it's the same technology, and so the markers need to be visible. We need to have a maximum number possible of markers visible when we shoot. And so sorry, this is a bit technical, and so I'll keep it short. But when a character is sitting down. We don't want to hide markers. So sometimes
you don't want to hide them.
Yeah. So it's more of a problem when characters are lying down. Is that something you can kind of try and identify in the game? Okay. If you can see that characters tend to be lying down by really having both legs separated, etc.
It's so that
I'm really, I guess it's sharing,
but it's also
little secrets now.
No, but that's interesting, because I didn't know that. I didn't know that either.
Because they have, so they have to keep their legs a bit apart, so all the markers show. Because when you're lying down, you're easily hiding.
Yeah.
So things like that.
See, I didn't know that. We love the technical answers. I told you. See, don't worry, Marion has a lot more.
No, you have to keep me from I
they
really
want to hear it.
Yeah.
You want to hear it, right?
But
Marion's saying keep me from getting too technical. But I think it's really cool learning about all of it. See, Havoc says it's so cool understanding how things are made today. We want to hear it. See, this is great, says Dex. Yes, we want to hear it. Sleepless Claire. Love it.
Before they know it, I'm giving a PowerPoint presentation of how Decima works.
I'm sure they'd love to know that.
So this scene we had a lot of fun with, and actually this scene has some stuff that my lead is
Shout out to PJ.
Yeah, absolutely. My lead, PJ Hughes, who has been at Guerrilla for 16 years.
16 years.
Absolute pillar of the building.
16 years. And in the blog, we did call this out, but PJ was the one who did a lot of the conversations designed for Zero Dawn.
Exactly.
And then you came and sort of started helping.
Exactly that. So in Horizon Zero Dawn, PJ kind of designed all the conversations by himself.
Yeah.
He designed the system that allowed them at that time to generate them.
Yeah. And you called it almost like a procedural generator for
he made the procedural generator for that. So because you might have noticed in Zero Dawn that it was, that was a lot of characters, reusing animations and reusing cameras, because at the time, technologically, that's kind of how you had to deal with, especially with the scope of these animations. But of course, they wanted to push that. So in Frozen Wilds already, they did with motion capture approach. Here's a fun thing actually about Frozen Wilds that I hope I hope that PJ won't mind me sharing. But at the time, because they were trying this approach out, most of the NPCs that Aloy talks to in Frozen Wilds, that's PJ himself in the mocap suit. That's.
Oh my gosh! Oh my god, that's so funny.
And it's really funny once you obviously I played that before I came to work here.
So that was because he was just trying to see and experiment like how it could work.
Yeah, like they were trying to they were experimenting and seeing if that was a good and promising approach to mocap everything for the second one. Because in DLCs are, because they're smaller, they're a great opportunity to experiment
to try things out.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it is really funny once you know PJ in real life and you play Frozen Wilds and you're like,
that's funny. Now you know a little Easter egg. Everyone in Frozen, most of the NPCs are one person.
Yeah, as a PJ.
Shout out to PJ.
PJ playing all the characters. But then PJ, so again, that directs these scenes with the actors. Yeah. And something he always looks for, and that is a very good example of that, is how to make the conversation look interesting, like in the frame. Here you can see like Olvend is answering Aloy, but
Aloy in the background is like.
But he's making really sure that everyone can hear it because he's actually kind of talking up the crowd. And here, this gives us an interesting opportunity to, have him walk around, to not just be, hello, we're standing.
And like standing there and just talking. Because when you're talking,
blah, 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 blah.
Just like us talking right now, when you're in a conversation, you don't just stand there and do this. You walk around, you make hand gestures, and you can really tell. And also DJ Techrat says, Marion, ma chère, we've all played the game. It's true, the community has played the game. You're the one bringing the new and awesome to the stream.
They probably know the game better than
Are you French? Yeah, Marion is French. How did you know that?
Can they hear it? Damn it.
Media Molecule, hello, friends.
Oh, yeah, hi.
Hi. Thank you for joining us. Thank you.
Oh, that's really nice.
That's very nice. Olvend is trying to gas up the crowd to keep them on his side. Yep. Ooh, Grace asks, do you need to compensate the movements and the actions for the armor and the outfits? I've seen Aloy with her arrow case mocap, but belts, headgear, do they know what they're wearing or they can be added later?
I mean, I'm just going to say I'm amazed by the question. And
that's so, Grace, like that's a really
good question.
That's a very thoughtful thing to ask.
It's actually a really good point because you can. She's not actually wearing it in this picture. I think because maybe in this picture she's actually not playing Aloy. But normally, Peggy, when she's playing Aloy, has what's it called in English? English fail.
Maybe there's French folks.
The
quiver?
Yes, a quiver.
The quiver.
The thing that I have to talk about all the time on mocap, but it escapes me today.
I'm an actor. Grace is an actor. That's why. They were able to ask such a detailed question.
Typically, the mocap actress will then have a quiver with arrows around her waist, and that's because you can already see it here on the screen. Because we need obviously to be careful. The quiver is right there, and so when the actress moves, she needs to know that there's something there. So that avoids her moving through it too much. So that allows us to.
Everything has to be so thoughtful.
So we don't always know what the characters are gonna look like.
Yeah, I guess that was the question: is like, how do you future-proof what you need to add in later?
Like again, we need to be quite flexible, but so we take our best guess. That's actually a good segue into something else, which is that we we also try to work with the actors to express the tribe and the culture that the character come from, right?
Yeah.
And so for Oseram, we know they're boisterous, they will be maybe more physical, and then for other tribes, like maybe the Tanaks that we'll see later in the game, we really work to, because they're very disciplined and have a lot of self-control, and so when it's talking to a Tanak's character, you can notice that they will stay like. They stand very straight. They will very disciplined, and they usually work with. They express themselves with like quick, decisive gestures, often of a single hand.
Yeah.
They will, they will move very decisively. Meanwhile, the Osram are much more, have no economy of movement. Like they do much more. They occupy the stage a lot more. And the Utaru, which we'll also see later in the game, are much more graceful. They move very deliberately, very carefully. Yeah. So, and then for the costumes, sometimes we know, like for Avad, because he's a returning character, we know, and that he's gonna have like a heavy crown and things on his arm, and then we have to account for that. Yeah. And then other times the animators then come in and help correct and account for the for the costume. Here's an example.
Super fascinating.
Ulvent has this big.
Is that why he didn't put his arms down?
I mean, it's like he can't be very comfortable in his.
Yeah,
in his costume,
I mean, imagine if you're moving around in that, right? You're not gonna be like, Aloy.
Yeah, it's Avad's costume is quite complicated. I think it's one of the more complicated.
It's very
ones.
elaborate, and you can imagine that it's very heavy.
But you can see also here, Ulvent has this plate. The plate at the front that a lot of Oseram have, and so for example, that can become that's something that the animators have then to figure out if the character needs to bend forward, things like that.
Oh yeah, poor Avad, he looks so uncomfortable like that.
I see. So PJ is my lead. So he was the conversations lead at the time of Forbidden West. Yeah. And the actress who does a lot of Aloy's mocap here is Peggy. Peggy Fryans. She's a Dutch actress.
Very, very cool.
And she might be on the chat actually, because she told me she would watch. I don't know if she's. No, I think she couldn't watch live, but she told me she would watch later.
Watch later.
So let's shout out Peggy.
Yay!
You did an amazing job.
That's awesome. Also a challenge when cosplaying Aloy, not smacking my quiver every time I move my arm. Well, there you go. There you go.
I am paying very little attention to what I'm actually doing, but I'm good. I remember this
that's
well
what
enough,
it is. It's like we're playing for the commentary, right?
And let me see, what's another good... Oh yeah, Javad is available in the tavern to talk to, and that's another good example.
Everything in the tavern is also so interesting. I do want to shout out, if you haven't seen it, I think it's available. Ishmael Ore, our former cinematics director, he gave a GDC talk on the cinematics of Horizon Forbidden West. I highly recommend you go watch it. A lot of what Marion is talking about is basically part of that GDC talk, and it's just really interesting. I think I must have watched his talk like 7 times, and
it's really cool.
It's just so interesting.
It's available on YouTube. It's
yeah. I think that one is free, so you can go watch it.
Javad, here he is. There we go. So Javad is interesting because, again, interacting with props, you can see he is interacting with his stylus, with his paper, and he's also sitting, and we have to, when shooting the scene, and we have to take into account there's a lot of stuff happening here, right? The space is not very big, and so we have to create kind of interesting ways for the characters to move and interact while he is sitting, right? So that's when characters are sitting, it's a bit harder to find ways to keep them mobile and interesting, which is also why actually. There was a discussion with PJ about the characters in the hub, in the base. Sorry,
dev name.
Oh no, dev name. I knew I was gonna. The base later. But that's also why the characters are like standing, because then you can do a lot more interesting stuff with them. Because otherwise, it would be a lot of sitting and talking.
Yeah. West of the Quarry.
Did you have some saying on the character designs, like when something would be too much trouble to mocap? That usually comes like maybe around the same time.
So that's more on the, because I'm not an animator, animators have some discussions with content. I know like designing a character, especially an important character, is a whole process, and like every department kind of discusses it and sees how it's gonna turn out.
Yeah, but mocap doesn't like really. Like how much does it affect?
If the animator,
because there are some questions you would have to ask. Right?
Yeah, it's so that's the part I don't deal with too directly, but I do know, like if like animators will at least be able, from experience, to tell like, oh, this might present an issue, etc. But also, I mean, one of the really cool things in the world of Horizon, right, is like the really elaborate costumes,
Yeah.
and so most of the time we do like our animators are also like some of like incredible,
Yeah.
so they find ways to make things
Yeah.
work. Typically, like
That makes sense,
here,
yeah.
like Javad also has a cave, this kind of stuff, right? So,
So important to
oh, and well, also part of the art of cinematics
Yeah.
and conversations is also because we work with a camera. We like
in his favor.
we have in this, unlike the rest of the game, in this bit we define what the player is gonna
Yeah.
see, and so sometimes some of the art of cinematics is also to hide things behind out of frame of the camera, right? So that's me like spilling the beans
No,
a
I
little
mean,
bit.
there was like, I think there was like a tweet that was going around this week that I saw, and it's like, and even just years ago, I remember there was a tweet about like a cone and the way that the player sees it and the rain moves with the cone. Was it rain
That's
or
okay.
weather
That's the terrain culling, I think, for the camera. But that's
it's like a
really
similar concept, right? It's like what the player sees and what
Yes.
you hide out of the frame.
I think you're referring. I think to.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I think I know what you're talking about, and that's like our engineers have a technology to like cull what the player is not
Do you remember? Does
seeing.
anyone in the community remember that? It was a while ago.
This is like not my department at
Yeah,
all.
yeah, yeah,
I
it's
do
super-
know what you
yeah.
mentioned, what you're talking about, because I
Yeah.
remember there was an article about
Yeah,
it.
that's just what I kind of thought
But
it was
indeed,
similar.
it's the same general kind of principle, which
Yeah.
is, well, when you know what the player is going to see, then you also know what the player doesn't see. And so, for example, if sometimes the ground might be a little crooked,
Yeah.
but we don't, let's say we're framing,
Yeah.
above the waist, and we don't want the characters to have, to go like this.
Yeah.
So sometimes, if the ground is uneven, we might frame more the top of the body, and they might walk a little bit in the air, like not in a.
But then they're
you
not
can't
gonna.
tell.
But then you
But
can't
then,
see
because that way they are not bobbing up and
Yeah.
down weirdly.
Yeah.
So and it looks completely natural,
Yeah.
right? And yeah.
So when you say creative solution, that's what I think of. It's things like that where like you wouldn't think about this stuff.
This is the kind of stuff, and that's why the job is so exciting, because
Yeah.
basically every single conversation is going to present
A
little
different
questions and
challenge,
challenges
yeah.
like that.
Because the environment is different, their stances are different. Yeah.
And also, again, we have to be really flexible.
Yeah.
Like the main quest stuff obviously is a little bit more defined, because that's
Yeah.
the main
It's
pass
linear,
through the game.
yeah.
Even that can change quite a bit. But and then side content, like the side quests, etc., or the errands and all of the side content.
Yeah.
That can, like, we have to be really flexible, because a lot of the time we might not know where that actually takes place. Or like we.
So that's one of those things where you kind of have to future-proof. Like,
Yeah,
the
exactly
conversation.
that. It's like you have to keep really flexible, because that's the thing with a video game, is every department works in parallel.
Yeah.
And so a lot of the time we're working in environment, like, of course, the chain scrape bar looks amazing.
Yeah.
Right? But when we're working, we might not know what the arrangement of the tables is going to end up being like. We might not know there's actually a pillar here. Like imagine,
Oh, okay.
This is a random example. I don't
Yeah.
think we actually had this. I think this was, chain scrape was worked on early, so I think we had a
Okay.
fairly good idea. But
as an example,
imagine,
imagine.
right? If we are shooting this conversation here, and we might not know there's a pillar here. So what if if Allard moves too much? Maybe we're gonna have a problem with the pillar. Stuff like that.
Okay.
So you have to, like, a lot of the job is keeping a balance between making it really special, making it really bespoke and really expressive, and also keeping the flexibility, because maybe the quest designers will think, actually this quest works much better if we put this like this and that, and then we work really, really closely with quest design.
Yeah, and we've had quest designers on the stream before. Go check it out on our YouTube to go watch those.
Yeah, I think you had Aaron and Idris and Yana, who is a world designer. Like, you had all of those on stream. And I work really closely with all of them. And they're all amazing.
Yes.
It's,
so I want to take a quick. Let's see. Let's check in, because we do have a couple of things we want to show as well. You also brought some props in, but let's decide where we're gonna go in the game now. So we checked out some really cool conversations in Chain Scrape. We looked at the environment. Where did you want to go after this?
So I can't. Oh, is that closed? I think I have to do. I forgot.
Yeah,
I have
not
to
yet.
do some part of the
there's
quest
a
before
quest.
I can talk to them.
Yeah. We did do
later.
this recently on the stream, but
I'm gonna do actually a few, sorry, go on, but I'm gonna try and do some of the little main quests, because if we want to get to the embassy, we have to.
we're gonna try to get to the embassy.
Maybe.
because we'll try. But either way, I think we'll be able to at least get to a lot of the cool stuff that you wanted to share.
This
that
is,
way.
I mean, I think this is the way everyone traverses the world, by the way, but this is also... you know what I mean?
It is, right? It's just like, let's just take a shortcut.
Oh, but also, here's another little secret. Well, I think it's
Secret.
obvious, but when, developers typically, when we are debugging the game, we have Aloy be invulnerable, right? Because that's...
Yeah,
we don't
you
want,
have to.
we
Yeah, you don't
die
want to keep
to
game
robots.
overs and all. We gotta start over.
But so what that means is like I might very well jump from a cliff because I forget I'm not invulnerable. That is a possibility. It might happen.
To be fair, when I
It's,
when I was getting to Chainscrape to play up until this point before the stream, I kept jumping, thinking I had the shield.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's
I don't have it
also
yet.
something I've
And I was like,
heard.
I made a TikTok about this. Why can't I remember? All right, so I think what we're gonna do, let's pause the game for now. We're going to go back to our camera because we wanted to share some cool things we wanted to show, and we're gonna do a little bit of a giveaway just to celebrate the launch of Horizon Forbidden West Complete Edition. So I'm gonna show you the giveaway items first, and I think we'll do the giveaway first, and then let's show off some of the cool stuff, and then try to see if the community can guess where certain things came from. So of course we have to have a giveaway. We have some cool stuff. I think some of the things you've already seen before. I'm gonna try my best to make sure that you can all see it. But we're gonna give away 2 of these kits. So we'll do another one at some point. Have you seen these, by the way?
No.
Have you
Oh,
seen?
I have. Yes, I have.
Yeah.
Claudia, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Where is Claudia?
Oh,
Where is Claudia?
she's hiding somewhere.
We have to
No,
go
but
find
I
her.
watch the stream sometimes, so yeah, I do know Claudia.
Yeah.
I don't know where she is now. though.
Okay, we'll
That's a
find her.
mystery.
But this one is not Claudia. This will be whatever you decide to name it. But we're going to give away 2 kits. So we're going to give away a Claw Strider. You can name them however you want. Or, maybe the community can name them in the poll. And then that's going to be the name. So it includes Claudia. Or, sorry, not Claudia. The Claw Strider. We have a Horizon umbrella. This is actually very heavy duty. Have you used this?
No, I haven't seen
Okay,
that
I'll have to give you one, but they're very heavy duty. Very, very cool design. We have a pin set. Of course, I think we've given it away
these are
on.
cool.
Have you seen these ones before?
Not in real life.
Not in this one.
Yeah.
Aloy and Claw Strider. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, very, very cute. We have the insert coin beanie with the focus. Keeps you warm, it's getting chilly. We have some high quality prints of some shots that we took from Horizon Forbidden West Complete Edition. Yeah, our team did a very good job on that. Some of them were in the blog actually.
postcards,
Of course. And shout out to Shante who drove this, but we have cookies. Horizon Forbidden West cookies.
I have not seen those.
You have not seen them? Okay, so I'll show it to you. There's a company that makes these like really cool custom biscuits. I don't know if you've ever heard of them.
No.
Biscuiteers.
Amazing.
So they made these really, really cute cookies to celebrate the launch. I don't want to open it too much because I want you to make sure that you can eat them. It's very, very cute.
Oh, they look amazing.
But I don't know if you can see them properly. But yeah, we have some custom cookies, and we made a few of these, and you will get to win 2 of them. So that's included in the kit, and we obviously wanted to make sure that
The yellow is
that you can win.
incredible.
Yeah, I know, right? It's too bad you have to eat them. So we're gonna do this giveaway, and I'm going to open it right now with Moobot. So in order to enter, you only have to enter once. You don't have to do it twice. Even if you do it more than once, it's only going to count once. I want you to write in the chat. Let's open this. Let's do exclamation mark Aloy. Doesn't matter if it's capital A or lowercase. Type exclamation mark Aloy in the chat. There we go. The entries are coming in.
Yep.
This is how it usually
See
looks.
them,
Have you ever seen how?
Not the
back end of this.
back end,
Yeah, we usually use
Interesting.
Moobot, and we just set this up. So yeah, if you want a chance to win this Horizon Forbidden West Complete Edition kit that includes the cookies, the beanie, prints, Claudia, umbrella, and the pin set, type in exclamation mark Aloy. Everybody wants cookies.
Yeah.
Of course they want cookies. Cookies
I
are
want
great.
the cookies.
I want cookies too. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I totally forgot to eat my cookie today. just before the stream, not the Horizon cookie. There's this cookie. Do you know Van Staples?
Van Staples.
Oh my god, so good. They're so good. Have you tried them?
Yeah, oh, of course.
They are
like
so-
whenever we have like an occasion on
Van
the
yeah,
scene,
yeah. How do you pronounce it? Van Staples?
Van Stapelen?
Van
I think?
Stapelen. So there's this amazing cookie place in Amsterdam. If you ever visit, they are the place to go. There's a lineup like every day. It's so
But
long.
there's a cheat code. You can
order
you
online.
can order them
Yeah.
a day before, and then you just bypass
You
the
just-
whole
yep,
line.
and then they give it to you.
They give it to you, and everyone in the
Yep.
line looks at you and hates you, which makes it even better.
And you feel so good walking out with cookies. So someone on our team, Lamine, shout out to Lamine, got us cookies, and I asked them to save me one, and they did, and it's on my desk. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna eat the cookie before the stream, and I forgot to eat the cookie.
It's still waiting.
Yeah,
for you. They're good
yeah,
for like 3
that's true.
days,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Which cookies from them do you recommend? They actually only have one cookie.
They only have one cookie. They make a select amount of cookies each
Yeah.
day.
They just make that one type.
Yeah, they make that one
all
type.
day. Yeah.
It's the best cookie you've ever eaten in
It's
your
so
life.
good. It actually is.
It
is.
really is.
I love cookies. I'm such a sweet
It's like
tooth.
it's just like this
It's
really nice,
so-
warm, freshly baked cookie.
But the edge is like
filled,
perfectly.
like slightly crusty edge, and
Yeah.
it's
so
filled.
warm.
It's filled with molten white chocolate.
It's so good, but
Now I
not
want
too
one.
much. You can share some of mine. You can share mine. Just forgetting the cookie. Sorry. Yeah, I know. Leave Marion alone and go get that cookie. Oh man, that sounds amazing. We would understand a
Anyone
temporary
just
absence
wants
to
me
get
to
the
let
cookie.
you know, spill some beans while you're not there. That's it.
I
It's a
know.
long con.
Yeah, sorry. All right, so we have 45 entries, and I know there's more people in the chat. If you are watching in the background, now's your chance to type in !Aloy in the chat, because I'm going to close it soon. Okay, so I'm going to close the giveaway in a bit, but while we wait for other people to enter, why don't we show some cool props?
Yes.
So, sorry, I spoiled it.
No, that's okay.
Props. So Marion brought a lot of cool stuff. I'm gonna let you take it away. What do you want to show first?
I think the props are a good idea.
Yeah.
So So as I mentioned in motion capture, we play. We have to work with some props that the characters might manipulate, and so I brought some examples of that.
Yeah,
And
cool
here,
stuff to see.
The first one is very easy to recognize. I think they can see us. Right?
Do you wanna? Yeah. Do you wanna? Yeah. What is that? Take 2 guesses.
It's very harmless one.
Yeah. How heavy is it?
It's quite heavy because it's a solid wood.
Oh,
It's solid wood.
oh, that is heavy.
It was.
And they have to act with this.
Yes, it was sculpted for us by like a
That is
sculptor,
heavy.
a specialist. It's not hollow. It's full wood.
It's actually.
And it's
wow.
it's Allard spear. And
and
when,
you can show the little.
Yes, as you can see, it's marked up. So
Yeah.
these little markers here are how we identify its position and rotation on
A cookie cutter.
cookie cutter.
Says Don Agro.
Yeah, and so when Aloy's actress is downstairs and working, playing
Oh my
Aloy.
gosh, she has to be like real. Wow, that's just so strong.
It helps because that way it gives it some weight, right?
Yeah.
It helps to have props that are somewhat accurate to what you're actually
That is
doing.
I was not expecting that.
But so, for example, a very typical thing we did is Aloy hacking stuff. So like this.
Oh yeah.
Things like that. I don't want to manipulate
very
it too much.
cool.
But yeah, that's Aloy's spear.
Wow.
Let me not whack a camera with
Yeah,
it. If I can
that's
avoid
so
it.
heavy. That's so cool. I feel so powerful with this. Oh, that's really heavy.
Yeah.
I don't want to ruin it because
That's all
it's
right.
very
It's like
precious.
it is solid, but it's more gonna ruin everything else in its path. That's what I'm more
so
worried about.
let's
put
set
it
this
here.
aside.
Yeah.
Sneak
I have a
peek
few
at the
other ones.
spear. Yeah.
So here, this one, actually, like, the guessing game is really fun. Like, what do you guys think this is?
I'll move out of the
This
way. if you
beautiful
can. Or
cardboard
maybe it helps with my
construction.
white sweater. I don't know.
Beautiful cardboard construction.
Take a guess. A toothpick.
A big toothpick. A toothpick for Tremontas.
You stick the pointy end in the machine. I get that reference.
is-
Regala sword.
It's not Regala sword. We also have Regala sword, but
Katalo's
it's very big.
axe.
And that's Tanakh sword, exactly.
A
Katalo's
Tanakh
axe also
sword.
works.
Forbes got it.
So it's also Katalo's sword, indeed. So both answers are correct.
Oh,
It
both
is-
answers. Okay.
It is a Tanakh
Eve
sword.
also says Katalo.
You
okay.
recognize the Totalo uses like a normal Tanakh sword. So it's we have some enemies that use this.
Great
and,
job, y'all.
Yeah. But yeah,
That's
you can
awesome.
recognize the shape, indeed.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Let me just put it down here. This one is easy. This is like just to showcase on like more normal objects. This is actually we just saw them used in the Petra conversation.
Yeah.
Like this
But
is,
I think it's so cute that it has the mocap.
it has,
It's so
to
cute.
create a prop, you need at least 3 markers because that way you can tell what way it's facing.
3 at the
Yeah,
very.
3.
Okay.
Because 2 you can tell where it is, and 3 you can tell where it's facing. Right?
Oh,
And it's,
okay.
So every item we
learning
use
so
has
much.
3 three
very cool.
three markers. And this is my favorite. Absolute favorite.
I had to ask Marion what this was.
Okay.
Let's
this
give
one,
it give it a few minutes. If someone gets
if someone gets it, that's
bragging
quite
rights
impressive.
forever.
It's one of my favorites. And it was
Can
also,
you-
yeah, it was, so the mocap technician at the time made it for us.
Okay. Can you all see it okay? Maybe like move around a little angle. Take a guess. Taiga says that's
Oh my goodness.
What?
People figured it out immediately.
So fast.
Oh my goodness. I don't know if Taiga's answer like means, yeah, but it is indeed Quarry's instrument.
Wow.
Quarry's horn. I don't know if that was what Taiga meant, but you guys are incredible.
That
It
is
is
so
indeed.
fast. Took less than a second.
It is played like this, and we had the
Yeah.
actor, and also we had Lucas Van Schatman,
Yeah.
the audio director,
Yeah.
on stage when we shot that scene to help us figure out how this instrument would be played.
So it's
Yeah.
accurate. So it's not like the violin players where they just do this.
Yeah,
to
because we had
Oh,
concept
that's
art.
so cool.
We had concept art for the instrument, and then
Yeah.
our technician at the time built this, and then we had the audio director on stage to help us. Okay, this is probably how it's played, and etc.
Yeah.
etc.
Such a wonderful quest,
So-
says Arby. Wow.
Yeah, I really like that quest too.
I like how before we started streaming, you were like, "Oh, I can't wait until they maybe they'll guess what it
Maybe
might
they'll
be."
guess it
Immediately.
Never underestimate fans. Never.
Don't ever underestimate the community.
That's amazing.
All right.
Do you want to show the other thing we brought, or not yet? So we want to keep it for a bit later.
Where is it?
Those
Oh.
yeah. We can keep it.
Let's keep it
All
for the next break
All right.
because we'll time it with the giveaway.
Oh,
so I'm
perfect.
going to close this giveaway for now. Let's see. We're going to close it. I'm going to give you 5 more seconds. Type in exclamation Aloy in the chat if you haven't done so. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, you got one more in there. Great. All right. I'm going to close it. Let's see. Who is the winner? DJ Techrat!
Hey!
Yay!
The person who was
Congratulations! Yeah, asking
asking the
questions and
questions.
engaging with us. Congrats!
Congrats.
Is it in the chat? Why isn't Moobot saying it? Where is Moobot? Moobot, come on! Why isn't Moobot announcing it? Okay, I'm announcing it. DJ Techrat, congratulations. If you can send us a whisper on Twitch with your name, phone number, address, and your email so that we have all of that ready for shipping, we can just do it right off the bat. Moobot, wake up. Moobot stole the cookies. Moobot is sleeping. I don't know why. Okay, so we'll save that for the next one. All right, congratulations, DJ Techrat. Thank you for being on the stream and engaging with us. All right, so I'm going to put this aside for now. We're going to go back to the game, and let's see. Let's do a quick time check. We have an hour left.
Oof.
Do you think we
can
could get to the embassy?
If I really streamline it,
Yeah.
possibly. Let me think if there's anything else interesting to show.
Yeah,
I'm
think
gonna try
about-
and go as
yeah.
far. Like, yeah,
we're
streamline
gonna
it.
try to go to embassy.
But I don't have the debug kill. I have to actually.
I'm sorry.
I have to actually.
You have to
fight
actually
the,
play.
the robots. Oh my goodness.
Just
And
like the rest of us.
here it is. This is me trying for a Final Fantasy dodge instead of the Horizon dodge. So that's gonna go well.
I need to hop out for a bit. No worries, Sir Mammothie. Come back
Right, where's
soon.
the other ones?
Here's where Marion reveals she's secretly a speedrunner. Says time to fry.
Was I low on life?
Huh?
That thing just destroyed me.
You know what? It happens to the best of us.
F. Sorry. It's oh my goodness. What
Lower
happened?
difficulty for ease. We are playing on normal. Should we go down to easy just for the sake of...
No.
No, we could.
I mean, we
because-
can. But it's
Why
just,
don't we? Because the point of this
No,
stream
you're right, you're right, you're
is not to show off the gameplay
No,
today. We
absolutely.
have streams for that.
You are right. It's
But
just my
today,
pride getting
It's
in
your
the way.
It's okay. Everyone,
Easy.
tell Marion that it's okay.
And
Because
no, you're absolutely right.
you're
Let's do
here
that.
to hear her
Let's
talk,
do
and we want to hear more about that. It's okay.
That is
No
absolutely
pride
that.
being.
But wow, that
Yeah.
thing destroyed me. Huh?
To be fair, you also don't have all your weapons. We have a very low health bar.
Yeah, no,
This
it
is
is
the
indeed.
beginning of the game, right? We all know Marion is an amazing gamer. It's okay. No shame, says Santo.
No,
We've all been there, Enwin says. Story mode for telling stories. Yep.
Let's just
Normal
get
is my
rid of
ultra hard.
those.
No shame. You know what? We're all in this together. Easy mode is your friend. Embrace it, says Fogs Blue.
Nope.
Oh,
Let's get
welcome,
rid of
Fogs.
those guys.
Nice to see you. I always play on story mode. It's okay, says Hime. Yep. You know what? For me,
All right.
the way I like to play games, I usually play on either story or easy first. Because for me, I love narrative-driven games.
No, me too.
Yeah.
It's like I really like both. Like I love narrative part, but also I also like a challenge.
Yeah.
Like the reason I was like no because I platinum Zero Dawn in very hard.
Oh.
So I going to easy is like.
It's
but,
okay.
But no,
it's
absolutely,
okay.
and you are absolutely correct. By the way, there is absolutely no wrong way to play whatsoever.
Yeah,
I'm being stupid.
No, you're not being stupid. It's the pride. You do want to like keep it the way it is, but I usually play hard. If I love the game, I'll try to platinum it or 100% achievement it, and that's when I usually go up the difficulty. Because then I have a better idea for the gameplay too. Yeah.
So Sirlis, this is another conversation that we worked on this one fairly early. Oh my goodness, here's a conversation I forgot to show. We have to
go back?
When we back, because we have to go back to Chase at one point anyway.
Yeah.
To continue, and I have to show off obviously Milduf.
Okay, I'll remind you.
That was the first one I wanted to show off, and then we just went.
Community, just remind us to go back to Milduf.
No, we're absolutely showing Milduf because
Milduf, yes, beloved.
Milduf is the very first scene we really tried to push. We wanted it to really be an experiment on how much complexity we could have in terms of handling props, etc. That's why he does a lot of stuff in that scene, and it's a lot of cool stuff to say about.
Oh, the thing that you were telling me yesterday, right?
Yeah, I can also say that.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna, sorry, Sirlis, I'm just gonna speed through your conversation. I'm skipping.
Oh my
the
God, we
conversation.
might get onion answers. Why does she move the onion?
I mean,
Tell us about the onion.
Yeah, why she moves the onion is exactly that. Is because we were trying object manipulation.
Yeah.
And to have things look into. I have stories. Every prop in this game has stories, and there are stories about the onion.
Must know.
But yeah,
onion.
let's clean this up first. So let's go and find Errand, and let's clear the Quarry as well.
Yeah, let's do that.
So
I couldn't
that's
remember
done.
if that was before or after Chains. It's been so long.
So to move on from Chase Scrape, you have to do 3 little parts. You have to free Sirlis, you have to find Errand, and you have to. I forget her name, but at the woman at the quarry, you have to speak to her.
Do you remember? Oh yeah.
So you have to clear the quarry of Bristlebacks. Here we go.
There we go. Yeah, that was the one I was worried because I was trying to get to Chain Script really quickly, and I thought this one you had to do before you got to Chain Script. I was like, oh, am I gonna have enough time? But this was after.
Yeah, no, we have to do this.
Milduf is a sweet.
Where
while we are.
Errand? Did I pass him?
Oh, you have to go first. Yeah. So while we're doing that, feel free to ask more questions about conversations design while Marion is here. She's very excited to be here and talk to you all. So just go ahead and ask. I'll read them. Shout out John Hopkins, Aaron, my himbo. Pick some medicinal berries just in case.
That is very good advice. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Otherwise, we're gonna be stuck here for a while.
Yes, let's go find Errand, our boy.
See.
Errand, where?
Where are you again, Errand? You have to. Yeah, you have to. I think he's up there somewhere, right? We have to follow the Bristleback, and.
But then.
It's somewhere there.
To be honest, I cannot remember. At all.
It's somewhere like that.
Because I was playing Forbidden West
There we go.
just as I was getting ready to move here. So it's all a blur. Because it came out in February, right? And I was getting ready to move in February.
I think it's somewhere here. It's a little...
Wherein?
It's
That's a good one.
It's a little logging camp that's somewhere around.
Do you remember
here.
where it is, community?
Yeah.
Did I get here in time for Aaron? Yes, you did, Natalie. Yes, you did. The yellow diamond is your guide.
There we go.
Yeah.
Track.
There we go. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
That's what I
there he is.
to do.
Wow, I forgot everything. So it's a good thing we're playing now.
I think this is a constant on streams is because but making a game is very different from playing it.
Yeah.
So sometimes we might have forgotten how to actually play it.
And it's so funny hearing you and when we were streaming with Daniel or getting ready for it, just all the dev names and calling it something different. I'm like, what?
Oh yeah.
And he's like, I forgot what the consumer name is.
What's the actual name we shipped with is
Our boy.
for some robots for some machines. As an example. Some machines.
The 6th boot server has arrived in spades. Hello there. Hello there. It's hammer time. Theron, that smile. Ooh, this is a question for after if you are able to answer.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing how using the Shredder Gauntlet is very different from the bow gameplay, how did mocap change the combat?
That is gameplay motion capture, so that is like I have no idea.
Ah.
That is because we do cinematics and conversations.
Yeah.
So that typically she might use the bow sometimes for some cinematics. She might use a spear,
Yeah.
but that's all the weapons we
Okay.
ever deal with.
So when you're
It's,
actually playing the game, it's a different team that,
yeah,
that does it.
That's like,
I mean, I
that's
hope that answers part of the question.
That's a combat team. I mean, they do obviously motion capture too, but I know very little about that. I'm sure they have their own
Own
wide
method,
set
yeah.
of challenges and
Yeah.
and expertise.
Stay where you are.
Aaron, my beloved. He's so happy to see her. Yeah,
There we
I
go.
love this. All right. Go for it, Marion. You can do it. Oh, good shot.
We got this.
Good shot. Thank you for trying to answer. Says
Gotta
Orumina.
get the tusks.
We'll try to find that answer for you, though. I think we can ask someone.
Got it.
Should also scan it. Oh wait, it's also this. Yeah, I remember this.
Oh, nice.
Ah, let's.
You have 2 berries. Ah! I'm very stressed.
Let's go in game mode. Here we go.
Game mode. You're sitting like the game mode.
There we go.
Nice.
Nope.
Oh,
missed again.
that's okay. Yes.
Oh yeah, it's hard, huh? There we go.
Nice.
Come on, I didn't miss that. Thank you.
You know, it's been so long since I only had like a bow and the frost
Yeah,
sling.
same. It's
Oh, we
Alright,
have
here we
the
go.
this thing too.
one is almost done.
Almost there.
Yeah. Oh come on.
Oof.
There
Okay,
we go,
that
I
one's
finished
down,
the other
Aaron.
one. I had to finish the other one. Oof, that was a bit close, but we're fine. We're fine. We're fine.
We're okay. It's all good. It's all good. Wait, did you end up lowering the difficulty or no?
Oh yes, I did.
Okay, okay. Yeah, let's yeah, we're easy. It's all good. Ah.
It's fine. There we
Ah,
go.
yay!
Easy.
Woohoo!
All right.
Like hammer to metal. I love some of these sayings.
Oh yeah.
So like, oh, that was cool.
And we have this bit of so this is also mocap, by the way. This bit of Aaron slowly coming down because he's injured.
Did you have to do this? Were you working on this one?
I wasn't on stage when this one was done. I remember seeing the footage for it.
Okay.
I think this because this is technically a stunt was done. We don't do stunts here.
Okay.
So. But yeah, like stunts are done by specialists, and I think this counts because he had to come down from a fairly high
okay.
point.
A preemptive heart, this boy. GG.
All right, let's go.
Must give heart answer. He knows
Let's go
already.
and have a heartbreaking conversation with Aaron.
Caught me in my best.
Yeah, this is stuff. Again, this is stuff we worked on,
You did the
like
hard
in
part.
in the conversations team. And yeah, again, a lot of this is
This,
is showcasing. Well, it focuses very much on Aaron, trying to play it off as
Yeah.
cool, but he's actually quite injured.
Yeah.
I know you didn't come all
And
the
yeah,
way
trying
from
to-
just to watch me get wrecked.
Just brush off the pain, try to not embarrass, like
Yeah.
look cool for
For
in front of
Aloy.
Aloy, and yeah.
Aaron, what I did.
Oh, Aaron!
What
Oh, please. Just want to hug him.
Speaking of hugs, there's a few hugs in Forbidden. I love every single one of them.
Yeah.
And yeah, hugs are fun because and also interesting for animators because you get to deal with a lot of
We
customers. I know there
just
was an article
when
about it,
Daniel
yeah.
was on, we just spoke about this, and Daniel didn't know, but there's an IGN article that where we talked about how hugs are hugs are very complex.
Yeah.
And most people wouldn't think that, but yeah, it's
But Aloy does
It's out
need
there.
hugs. And,
Yeah.
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 And it's my favorite. Like I think I mentioned this in the Petra conversation briefly, but definitely my favorite scenes
Yeah.
personally
Yeah.
are whenever. I mean, also when there's something really interesting happening in terms of action, but
Yeah.
mostly for me it's when Aloy is either connecting or facing a connection challenge with other people. Like it's, I think it's always really interesting when Aloy is a little bit out of her element, like in this
Yeah.
Petra conversation.
Yeah.
When she's a little, wrong-footed, and when she's actually achieving that connection with people. And so
Yeah.
hugs are obviously a big part
Yeah,
of that.
yeah.
It's, So I mean, I'm also a big RPG fan, so
Yeah.
like, I really like these kind of more character-driven moments.
Yeah, where
and-
like it's very emotion based and
I know him.
Hugs are you guys
I'll
showing
clear the
off?
valley of the Sabbat.
This actually is a really good time also to show,
Ooh.
to talk about. Well, you might have noticed when playing the game that characters react to what you've done before, right? Like characters, like it's more obvious later in the game because you have
Yeah.
had more opportunities
More-
to do
yeah,
different things.
yeah.
But here, for if like I forgot what exactly the possibilities are, but yeah, here depending on whether you've talked with Wadis or not,
Yeah.
this conversation will go a different way. Aloy just went, oh, I know him because she
Yeah,
talked with
yeah,
Wadis, but she might not have interacted with him very much. I think that's something like that. There is some sort of alternative version of this conversation. It's been a little while. I forget what it is.
Oh, that's actually very cool. I did
And,
not know that.
And if can I get the screen?
Yes,
really
yeah.
quickly
So we're
again?
gonna
Just
show
really-
something
to
that
explain this really quickly.
I did not know that.
So, but this is that's more obvious. I'm gonna give a more more obvious example. It's for the Desert Tanax quests, like the Draka and Yara quest, for
Yes,
example.
Drakanyara, yeah.
Because I don't know if you've noticed this, but the desert capital is called Spear and Arrowhand, Draka's village, are not actually on the main quest pass. So you can, I mean, they're on the way, so you're probably going to stop
but you're not
there.
going to be able to find it on.
But it's really a place where you might end up at any point during your playthrough. And you interact a lot with the Tanakh, so obviously the desert commander would have heard of Aloy from different things.
Yeah.
And so depending on what you last did in the game, they will address you differently.
So you accounted for different points of entry.
So this is kind of what I'm showing now. So this is a
Can you
very
see it?
basic, beautiful diagram I made.
Confidential information right here.
Developer
Game
art
dev
right there.
document.
Of briefly kind of how this kind of works. Because imagine that this is what a conversation looks like in the game, and so all of these blocks are a little bit of the conversation.
Yeah.
And so you come in here, let's say this is a common bit of the conversation, and then you have here what's called a condition, and that kind of checks what you've done in the game. So for example, let's say a typical example for Draka and Yara would be, have you been to the bulwark yet? Right? Have you brought down the bulwark yet? And if you have, they will address you as rule breaker. And if you haven't, they will address you as the red-haired foreigner.
Oh, that's what. Yeah,
roaming,
that's
roaming.
what happened to me.
And if you've done more things, like if you have defeated Regala, these kind of stuff, they will go, oh, the one who has defeated Regala, or the one who spared Regala, depending on all of that, right?
That's so cool. I didn't know that.
And so, and this, depending on then what, so the game checks at, when you're playing what you've done, and depending on this condition, then the next block might be this one or this one. And,
very cool.
And here comes the actual challenging bit, is that after a while, probably these blocks are going to rejoin into, again, a common block.
Yeah.
And in terms of realization and motion capture, that's the part that's challenging because, of course, like our goal is that you don't notice this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It has to be
to make it seamless.
Yeah. It has to be as seamless as possible because it's obviously a lot of work to do all these different alternatives. But ideally, you should notice that work.
Well, I didn't notice. So it seems like one conversation, but you basically have like blocks where you have these different sets.
Yeah.
Like. That's customized to your decision. But it's seamless the way throughout, so it seems like one.
That is exactly the goal. And so ideally, right? It's so natural that you can't even tell. But it should account for, because a lot of quests, for example, you might maybe you've already actually done the objective or part of the objective, and so the character has to react to all of that. There's a quest at the beginning with the miners, right? You have to rescue the miners. You might actually have already gone, and like Arnulf, who is in Chainscript, will give you this quest, but maybe you've already met Corvent, and so at that point, Ada will say, "Oh, I've met your foreman," or maybe you've already gone in and talked to the miners. Maybe you've gone in and already rescued them, etc., etc., etc. So we have a lot of these things that are accounted for.
Masterfully done. Trust me, it is noticed and appreciated. Taking notes.
I'm glad, because it has to feel natural. And the hardest part before, I go back to the game. Sorry, Aaron, he's like waiting.
He's waiting for us to make a decision.
Why is he taking so long?
Let's look at the lingering scene for Aaron.
Yeah, we can see all the lingering. But the hard bit actually is. Sorry, we're back in game. So that's totally fine. Is at the end of two options when they rejoin. They have to rejoin at the same point, like the characters, because
Yeah.
it's also motion capture, they
Yeah.
have to be in the same position, right? So let's say if imagine Draka
that is
calls you, like Desert Flame, or he
Yeah.
calls you Wall Breaker,
Yeah.
or it can be much longer, right?
Yeah.
Maybe he'll have like 3 lines of dialogue in one
Yeah.
case and 1 in other case, but at the end they have to rejoin in the same way so that you can just
Just like progress
Yeah.
with the actual quest.
but like so you can so the cinematic just continues and you don't
Yeah.
notice there was a different block.
so
This
good.
is one of the most precise things we pay attention to on the
Yeah.
on the motion capture stage. It's typically my lead, so PJ is
Yeah.
directing the actor, and he will pay more attention to the to the acting, to the
Yeah.
creative stuff,
Yeah.
and I will be watching, and I'll be like. Oh, Peggy, your arm was up.
Or
in
like your
previous
foot can't, like,
your foot, you're like leaning your weight to the opposite side, or things like that.
That's really.
Like,
So you just have to be like laser focused.
Yeah,
on,
it's like stuff like that. You have to be like, oh, your arm's like typically it's the arm was in a different position.
Yeah.
Like maybe the arm was like crossed and actually
Yeah.
needed to be
Yeah.
down,
Yeah.
or the weight is adjusted differently.
Yeah.
Because then if we cut and then suddenly boop,
Yeah.
right, like that,
And then
you're
you
gonna
notice,
notice.
you know what that
Yeah.
reminds me of? It's like when you watch like the old blooper reels from sitcom shows, and you notice that like the actors are actually like we're standing differently, and then the next cut is like, oh, they're actually standing this way. From like the the 90s sitcoms when they
I'm gonna
do
move
that.
on. I know everyone. I saw a lot of hearts, so I'm just gonna pick hearts.
Let's do heart. We're gonna do hearts.
Wait.
Oh, we have a French. I can't read it.
Yes, it says this is like someone who I told about the stream, and I asked to not speak French on the stream, so you know who you are. It's and he says, but he says it happened to him a lot that he noticed that players were characters were reacting.
Okay, that's very cool. It makes playing more than once such an interesting thing, says Foxloo, seeing the little differences along the way. I love it. We notice the love put into all of this. Yeah, but that piece is only obvious on the second or third. Oh, masterfully done. So when will we see Horizon Choose Your Own Adventure? I like the idle prompts. Hello, are you listening? Watching Aaron's ribs break further in real time. Sorry, Aaron. Oh boy, I'm so sorry.
He's like, oh, I have to stay.
Oh, I do want to call this one out because this is very an urgent latte. I know it's not about the game mechanic, but just want to say I love the details of the armors, Aloy's outfits, clothes of the tribes, different types of face dye. So beautiful. Oh, thank you. We will definitely pass that on to the teams. Seeing the different cultures of the tribes, how the atmosphere and the music changes when visiting them. So beautifully thought, like everything else in the game. And that's actually interesting because in the blog, you also had I'm not sure if I put this part into the blog. I think I did. You also have to think about tribes.
Yes.
And differences.
Yeah. I think I touched on this earlier, but yeah, like for
You did, a little bit.
For how characters move and behave, and how that's so. And obviously on the writer's part, it's also how is their culture gonna influence how they interact with Aloy. Like obviously, it's very important that every character is an individual, and they all have their conflicts and their motivations, etc.
Yeah.
But also their culture and how what environment they've been brought up in, etc. is gonna really affect how they might relate to Aloy and how they might behave. And the body language is the part we pay the most attention.
Yeah,
on that front. Here we go, Quarry. We clean up the Quarry and then we can move on.
Oh my gosh, is Julie in the chat? Hi, Julie.
Oh, amazing. Oh, yeah,
Thank you for tuning in. Oh my gosh, the lovely Julie, of course. You hear her voice, her beautiful voice in our game.
In the scene, absolutely.
The trailers.
Oops.
TV? Oh no.
The TV
Let me
is
just quickly.
I don't think it's on the stream, but the TV is complaining at us.
To keep the TV on, press any buttons except the power button. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Third time you saved the stream today.
Hi, Julie. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for dropping by. Yes, we're very excited that Complete Edition launched today, and of course, your beautiful voice just setting the tone for the game, and just amazing. Thank you. Thank you for coming by. Everyone, say hi to Julie. GG team, hard work made Horizon a masterpiece. Are you starting over from the beginning? I started just the beginning part, just so that we could get to the chain scrape area. Just because we have Marion on today, and she wanted to share many cool insights about conversations design. Horizon wouldn't be the same without Julie. Amen to that.
That is true.
It's very, very true. Like I can't.
That scene is.
I don't even know how else to think about Horizon if there's no Julie vocals.
Oh my goodness, I'm living very dangerously.
Queen Julie.
I think if I get hit once, it's over. So let me see.
Berries?
Run for berries.
Hi, ethereal voiced Julie.
Sorry, I'm like dealing with the. Oh my god, this.
Shout out to the cinematic. Oh, it's Felipe.
Oh, Felipe.
Hello.
Hey, Felipe.
Felipe
Colleague
is
from
on our
downstairs.
cinematics team. Say hello to Felipe too.
That's very exciting.
The music is a huge part of what gives the game its feel. Exactly.
Oof. Okay.
Like that beautiful, haunting, ethereal. Yes. You can do it, Marion.
Yeah, it's but
I
it's
believe in you.
I'm out of health, which is
Oh, and arrows.
and arrows. Okay, never mind. Okay, I'm gonna run away.
Yeah,
for a little
let's run.
bit.
The best cinematics team. Yeah. Also, it really stands up just to listen to the soundtrack on its own. Oh, I love it. When I need to get into focus mode at work, pun unintended, I do listen to the Horizon soundtrack.
So this is a true thing. I loved the music so much that as it was coming out,
Yeah.
I was also on our servers hunting for any new piece of music so I could
Yeah.
listen to it while I worked. Okay, thankfully we could escape from this. I'm just gonna get some ridgewood.
Yes, get some sticks for bows. I mean, not for bows,
Ridgewood.
arrows.
There we go. I'm glad the bristlebacks are kindly,
Yeah, they've just been like, yeah, I'm too lazy to go all the way there.
Waiting for me to come back. There we go.
Soundtracks are on repeat for me constantly. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, when I was writing the blog, I was listening to the Horizon soundtrack.
And the Burning Shore soundtrack is.
Oh,
is,
lovely.
oh my goodness, is very very good as well.
I think we were talking about what track in Horizon is our favorite one before.
That's a hard question.
I do love the ties.
The
of
main
that one.
theme. Oh, no, that's not what I want. There we go.
Yeah, which one's yours? Sorry, I know you just said it was hard.
Let's
There's
see.
so many good
let's
ones.
see. Let me think. I mean, Aloy's theme is an obvious
Yeah.
answer. There's a
great
lot
one.
of combat tracks. I love his choice, which is the final boss music from Burning Shores, and also obviously the music from the like 3-phase long music for the boss of Burning Shores.
Yes.
I don't want to, be too obvious about what it is. 'Cause it's like
It's epic.
But yeah, that bit. What else?
I drive to work listening to the Zero Dawn
There we
soundtrack.
go.
Did a
Okay, we done it.
cross-state road trip. Nice. And got through all of the Horizon Forbidden West soundtrack. Very cool. The music was incredible.
Am I
Yes.
struggling because I didn't upgrade my hunter bow? Probably.
Shout out to our composers, the music team, audio team.
We tried to hold off and wait
Yeah,
for
she
Loot?
the vanguard,
Mm.
one of them bristlebacks
Do you want to loot?
Yeah, in a minute. We're talking to Belna, and we're gonna
Yeah.
loot very quickly.
Hi, Belna.
And I think we can tell Ulven to open Chainscript again and
Yeah.
move on. And
Yes.
I think we might reach the embassy.
Yeah?
I think
Do you
so.
think
yeah.
so? We have
think
a
so. We
little
have
more
40
than half an
minutes?
hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do it. And we'll do like
whistle ain't blowing, so we're stuck.
5 minutes. Well, the thing is about 30 seconds.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's the
And then
same.
we'll do,
Yeah.
so we'll do the giveaway first and then we'll show that video and then, yeah.
Sorry, Belna, I'm also skipping all your options. It makes me. It
Sorry, Velna.
It breaks my heart as a
I know,
conversation
you're a
designer
conversations designer.
to skip
I
some
know.
options.
I mean, we don't have to get to the embassy if you want to take your time with it.
No, it's true. I do want to
But-
show Milduff for sure.
Yeah, okay. We're going to go to Milduff. Let's go to Milduff.
Like it's.
Am I going to be hungry? We're going to go to Milduff.
Oh, for sure.
I'm gonna
sure.
be hungry.
But yeah, I'm trying to to make sure we can see some of the really cool stuff that the broader cinematics team worked on.
Yes.
Because I
let's
was
do
on
that.
on the conversation sub team, but so I'm part of the broader cinematics team, and
Yeah.
the embassy cinematics are some of the most
That was
complex stuff we
epic.
have in the game.
Epic.
So would also
Shout
love
out to our
showcase
cinematics team
that.
again. Yeah, our cinematics team is very, very just good at what they do. Excellent.
All right, let's see.
This makes me want to relaunch Zero Dawn
Did
while
I
waiting
loot?
for
Absolutely
Forbidden
not.
West on PC. You absolutely can.
Let's see.
It's a ruin from the old
I
one.
said I would loot after the conversation.
Cinematics team checking in. Shout out from the 3rd floor.
Oh, I
hello.
don't know who this is. But
Vorlon.
hello. Vorlon.
Who's Vorlon?
There's someone in disguise.
We could guess, but I don't know.
So many frames on that's Felipe. Felipe sees frames in his sleeve. Like, oh. Speaking of, that's actually a really good thing. Speaking of seeing stuff in our sleep, so the Milduff conversation I mentioned
Yeah.
was one of the first ones we worked on.
Yeah.
I've seen this conversation so much.
Yeah.
I've seen this conversation so much. I can probably like
Recite it.
recite
The
most,
lines.
like a lot of it. It's like, hey Milduff, took some of yours too.
Should we act it out?
Took some of yours too last time I went into the wilds. Kept me going for a week.
Was it you? Marion knows it by heart.
I mean,
that's what happens to some of these, though,
just
right?
the beginning of it. Like, I'm
that's
like, yeah.
development.
Kept me going for a week. Could have kept a sleeper in a strider in a sleeper hold. Just, some of these.
You know everything. You know all the lines. Wow. Yep. So we're gonna go to Mildef right now.
Yeah. And then we're gonna talk to Oven. So he opens the way.
Yeah.
Actually, let's talk to Oven now because Mildef is still gonna be.
Okay.
Actually, yeah. And Mildef is then gonna react also differently. This is kind of what we were talking about because once we kind of get rid of Ulvund, because Mildef's problem is he's being pressured by Ulvund, but once you get rid of the Ulvund problem, then he has to talk about that a little bit differently. And he says, well, like I know you got rid of Ulvund, but his henchmen haven't gotten the memo, so they're still pressuring me. But he needs to address that
be able
differently.
to,
right? Yeah. So that's an example of conditionality.
That's very, very cool. Oh, the open world is so lively and there's so much conversations. Are there any tricks to prevent an accident like a PNJ walking into you or being attacked?
That's French. It's an NPC.
Oh. What is it in French?
Personnage non joueur, which means the same thing.
Very interesting. Or being attacked by a machine during a talk in the wild.
So we have some tricks to essentially make obstacles for the AI.
Yeah.
So once the conversation starts, there will be a zone that's kind of secured around the characters that we can make bigger or smaller.
Okay.
And then characters, and that includes machines in the wild, will avoid that area.
Okay. That's very cool. Hello, everyone. Congrats on launching Complete Edition. Thank you, Thesaurus Rex. Nice to see you in the chat. Hello and welcome. Yeah, I want to know who Vorlon is.
I'm curious.
Hi, Cinematics.
I will, I'll ask when I go back downstairs.
Yeah. Third floor?
I mean, they knew they were on the third floor, so...
Wait, were they always on the third floor?
We were not. We were on the second. We were on the second.
Yeah.
We're on the third
and then
now.
You moved to the third.
So I'm pretty sure this is actually one of my colleagues that won't reveal themselves.
Okay,
we don't know. This was another fun... This one... this conversation here, Hakund, has so many variations because Hakund and Volmar will be talking about whatever latest rumors they've heard from the Forbidden West.
Yeah.
If you haven't, if you didn't know this, I would advise you go back to Chainscript regularly to check in on Hakund and Volmar because they will be chatting about an incredible amount of stuff.
I did go back to them a lot just because this was the benchmark that I knew, or the thing that I knew to come back to. Very often.
They will talk about I heard there was a flooded city in the desert. I heard that this and that is happening.
Yeah.
They will react to a lot of stuff you did out in the Forbidden West.
A lot of work for the narrative team too.
They will talk about the embassy as well. It's incredible. It's the amount of that. Trust me, you have, even if you have played the game 3 or 4 times, you have not seen
just
all the
variations.
dialogue.
There's a lot in there.
Mildef
walks in late with Starbucks. Hey Meg, hello. We're finally moving up in life, Felipe. I mean, what about for people who move downstairs?
Here we go. Okay, let's see if I can show my fun thing.
All right, we're here for Mildef.
So here's Mildef. So Mildef was one of our first examples, the first complex scene we wanted to do, also for this idle loop here that he's doing. So that's when they are in the world doing something before Allard talks to them.
Yeah.
And so we wanted it to be pretty elaborate for Mildef. So as you can see, he's doing a lot of stuff. And here he is. He's flipping this steak, right? He flipped his steak.
Can you go closer to the steak?
Yes. So everyone keep their eye on the steak. Whoop! Did you see that? So I've never heard of any player noticing that, so I'm spilling the beans
I want to
about
ask,
it today.
did anyone actually notice anything about the steak before? I mean, it flips, of course. But
yeah, it flipped. So this is a tiny glitch that because we were learning about...
Steakgate.
Yeah, he flips again. We're going to see it again. Because we were learning about all this, right? And so we whoop, he flipped again. Because we didn't think about the fact he would need, because it's a loop information, so he would need to flip it twice.
Yes.
But we didn't think about that, and so at the end of the loop, the steak resets its position. So there you go.
It's alive, says Anna. The steak flip
We're going to see it just one last time.
Steak flip-flopped.
PJ somewhere.
Look at it.
Yeah. My lead PJ somewhere is shaking his fist at the screen going, Marion, why are you showing them glitches? Why are you showing them glitches?
It's funny.
I think this one is definitely innocuous and very fun. It's
I think it's also just a very cool little tidbit for all of you to just understand game development a little bit better, I think.
onion. Oh, here's the line I was just saying earlier. This is wild. Kept
in
me
the
going
wilds.
for a week. Could have kept a sleeper, in a strider in a sleeper hold. Like,
This is actually the
This bit-
Marion show.
this is actually my voice. No, not really. Here she is. So yeah, you can see we're like they're manipulating a lot of stuff. They're
Yeah.
manipulating the onion. He's manipulating his
Was the
little
steak
thing.
motion captured?
I mean, we for sure had a
Yeah.
thing, like
Yeah.
a little thing that was motion captured that flipped. Absolutely, yeah.
That's so cute.
It's,
Oh my god, the steak glitch is endearing. It's okay. It's okay. I think the robots are hacking it.
yeah,
It's
and
okay.
the steak. I agree. Like the steak.
Marion,
is
I'm
fun.
cracking up. Oh my god, I think you might be killing folks.
Oh.
It's
Boom,
Mildev
this
who's
is
chopping
also-
onions. I knew it. Onion! Was it in the script? Why did she move it?
So here's a fun bit about the onion, actually,
Yeah.
because people love
Yeah.
the onion. So yeah, also we have a few things. We have two models of onions, of
Yeah.
course, because we need the full onion and the model that's
Yes,
in
the one that's
split
cut.
onion.
Yeah. Or
And then
split.
also so we've worked on this very early, and we didn't have a model for the onion yet,
Okay.
right? But we really didn't want to forget to put the actual onion in.
Yeah.
Right. So because we put in a placeholder, and then we were worried, like we have to, because we have dealing with a lot of
Yeah.
seeds. So we're like, we have to remember to put the actual onion in once the actual onion exists. And so to remember, during development, we made the little ball that was a placeholder
Yeah.
for the onion. We made that bright pink. So that every time we would play the Mildev conversation in some way, we would go, oh, the onion. We need to replace the onion.
So the onion is also its own thing, even in the development
Yeah,
side of
yeah,
things. Pink onion.
No, but a lot of
Onion lore.
a lot of props that I'm manipulating are
Yeah.
like we have memories around them, because
Yeah.
typically there was some sort of challenge. Like here's one: the apple that Aloy eats while she's talking with Tilda
Yeah.
much later.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Also, yeah, like that's
You
like,
had to remember.
like animators really remember that one
Like-
because yeah, it has. We have to like we have so the apple already has a bite
Like a
taken
bite.
from it. Yeah,
Okay.
but then you need to you can't see
Did the
that.
prop itself have?
Yeah.
that?
But then
Okay.
you can't show that until Aloy has actually taken
Ah,
a bite.
yeah.
Like stuff
Oh,
like that.
interesting.
A lot of cinematics work is about illusions.
Ah,
Like, well, not illusions of like,
just yeah.
you know, like showcasing, working with what you want what the player needs to see.
Yeah.
And then,
and what they don't see too.
and what they don't see. It's, so yeah, the apple, for example, also has a lot of memories
Apple
on
lore.
our team.
Made us cry.
Yeah, Felipe says that, because Felipe presumably worked on the apple, so he has a
The
spinning
spinning apple.
Because the apple is hides the bite mark in Aloy's hand until she has hidden it,
okay.
and then she bites, and then then you
It
see the bite
spins
mark.
and then it shows the
something like that.
spinning apple. Game dev secrets. Well, not necessarily secrets, just
Yeah, the game dev lore.
very cool. Game dev lore. Game dev lore.
memories.
Pink onion
Yeah,
lore.
It's,
That is now canon. Pink onion lore. Don't take my word for it, please.
so here's an example, of like something that might change in development is depending on the quest team, etc. What he needs might
Yeah.
change, and then maybe we will get the line of him saying, "I need I need like beta and whatever it was,
Yeah.
right?" Like we might get that later, and then we
Yeah.
need to be able to like switch that out because. Game development is very iterative,
Yeah.
and we're like trying, and we're like actually the quest works better with this and that. This
Yeah.
is a simple one, right? But
Yeah.
maybe later the objective might change or
Okay.
where you need to go, and then
Right.
you need to be
So
able
that's where
to
the flexibility
yeah,
has
to
to
switch
come
things
in.
up a little.
Yeah. Oh, that's very, very cool.
All right, that was Mildev. Okay, we can move on.
I love you all
think.
for it to give such small details so many thoughts.
Mhm.
Well,
Let's
I might name the VOD Pink Onion and Spinning Apple.
Oh, that's a pretty good one.
That's a good one, right? Because
Yeah.
you look at it on YouTube and you're like, what is that mean?
Let's see. Okay. we
here's a
need to upgrade the
question.
bow. That's the one. yeah.
So you answered this before, so I don't know if maybe Enzurax wasn't able to catch it, but maybe you could explain again. Is the voice acting recorded first or the mocap?
So in some scenes we record both at the same time, and that's full performance. But otherwise we have voice acting first, and then we do when we don't do everything at once, and we have the voice, we time that out,
Yeah.
and then we work with body actors here, and they act. They have the the voice running in
Yeah.
the background, and they act to it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like they mime.
Which we'll show soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Sorry.
It's, how are we on time?
I just can't wait.
Okay,
So
yeah.
it's 4:30,
Yeah,
4:36 actually. So I wanted to ask you, do you want to do the next thing first, and then we can
I
do
think
the
so.
yeah?
Like, as in, do you want to show this thing now?
Right now, you want to do that? We can do it now.
We can do it
yeah,
now.
Yeah, okay, all right. So we're going to go back to camera again. We wanted to show you something pretty cool. So I guess because it's complete edition, and because, you know, most of you joining, we know all of you, you know, the core community members coming back, we know that you know what to expect in the game. But just so you know, a little bit of a spoiler alert, not huge. It is a side quest, but we're gonna talk a little bit about one of Marion's like favorite scenes that she worked on, just because I think it's really cool, and we're not gonna be able to get to it right now because we just restarted the game. But yeah, that was actually one of the questions that I had written down. I wanted to ask you to share with the community is what were some of your favorite things that you've worked on the game Conversation Lives, and why did you like it?
I think I touched on a little bit that I really like scenes where Aloy was connecting with like inter-character scenes. But then other scenes I really like were stuff where something interesting was happening in terms of action. So you know, we don't have just two people talking. Something's actually happening. And so my favorite, what I mean by that is, one of my absolute favorite scene that we mocapped here in the studio downstairs is the hot air balloon scene. So that's.
Do you all know what Marion's talking about?
So that's much further. It's with Morland in the Las Vegas desert, and it's his side quest. Yeah, exactly. They know.
Yeah, they know this one. Is that one of? You're not giving away all our secrets, are you, Marion? Yoren?
Oh, this is Yoren. Oh, no, I mean. You be the judge, Yoren. Felipe gave away the spinning apple. It's not just me. Yeah, we have more devs on the stream.
One of the best side quests.
But yeah, so it's I really like working on that because in the conversation team we mocapped both the actual balloon ride.
Yeah.
So the whole bit where you're riding, and Morland has a ton of things to say, like really funny, increasingly funny things.
He's just so boisterous.
And we mocapped the whole thing. It's like it's all like a long take, and this was really fun because then you're like on the mocap stage. So first we're gonna see it in a second, but we built an actual like kind of basic rig of the hot air balloon on the mocap stage, so actors would know where to put their hands and this kind of stuff. And then you're shooting and you're giving the actors cues, because if you remember in that quest, for example, they have a lifeline, and then the lifeline snaps. And so at one point they're talking, and on the sideline of the mocap stage I go, snap! And then the actors go, oh, you know, because the line just snapped.
That's the trigger word,
That's like the cue. And then also we mocap the crash. Which is stretching the definition of conversation a little bit. So this kind of stuff was really interesting to do.
That is very cool. So I think Marion wanted to show you guys some stuff from that. I wanted to show you the actual scene of it, but I think, I mean, you know the scene that we're talking about, and you could probably look it up, the actual scene on YouTube as well. But I'm going to show you a cool photo from that.
That's just a small setback. Nothing to worry about. I can fix this. I can fix it. I can. Grinding gaskets. It's gonna hit us.
You guys see the bird? And crash.
All right, we're
and
back.
We're back. They should be able to hear us.
Yeah,
again.
so sorry, I forgot to add the audio part for the picture. But why don't you explain that a little bit?
So what you just saw was behind like actual footage from. I think that's the actual take that ended up in the game as well.
That is the actual take.
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, that's even
it's,
cool.
from the
awesome.
numbers, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. love this kind of BTS. I could watch the whole game like this, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I know. I love when we can show this.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's not always easy because we people have to agree that we can show it, etc.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's this is really cool, and this was I'm really happy we could show that. By
Yeah,
the way. So
yeah,
thank
I'm
you for
so
letting
glad.
me show
No,
it.
because it's awesome.
Because yeah, that's so that's the actors playing the crash, and I think so they had the video audio then.
Yes, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
cool. So then you could also hear me in the back going. I think at one point I go screech because that's the Stormbird coming in. So a lot of the time when we have conversations that get interrupted by machines in some way, and then we on the sidelines, the technicians, we have to like be the machines for a minute,
and
so you have like various great impressions of machines, and you heard one there which was screech. that's the Stormbird that's coming in.
Marion's making her acting debut, 2024.
And then you go
Watch
like,
out.
Aloy sees the bird now, and then because like, Aloy needs to like see it arrive, and then cut.
Yeah.
And that's and so that was obviously you could already see.
And then
from
that's
the
when the
video.
voice acting from like it gets added onto that.
I think when
after.
I could also hear it, right? Like it's so you The actual voices of the voice actor that were recorded before, and they're playing, and then the actors
have to actually.
But so you can also see how amazing the body actors are because they're acting to the sound, and they're also like I am, and then crashing air balloon, right?
And their face,
so,
And in the blog, Jochen was also he called out this scene specifically as well, and what it was like to actually work with voice acting for that. So yeah, again, go read it if you haven't. Yeah, Marion credited as Stormbird.
It wasn't actually recorded in the game, thankfully.
Great job! Shout out to Peggy and all the other mocap actors. They do an incredible job. I can actually mimic the Glinthawk and Stormbird calls. Okay, well, we're gonna have to hear that.
No, we have some great, like I think in the Dela and Boomer Quest, there's a bit where a long leg interrupts, and so we had some great long leg impressions, like for interrupting the actors.
I'm probably not gonna try, but
also what's the name of the Tide Ripper?
My favorite
I remember that Daniel, cinematics director, imitating.
Oh,
the
Daniel's!
Tide
Oh,
Ripper.
really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
So
All
but
right.
then you saw that. Also, last tidbit about that video is you probably saw in the background. There's on the left. There's my lead PJ. So who's again been here for 16 years. Shout out
to PJ.
amazing lead.
Yeah.
Thanks, PJ.
Thanks, PJ.
So you could see him. He had his back to the actors. I don't know if you noticed that.
Oh no, I didn't notice that.
So he's
I
on
did
the
not.
sides on the left in the video, and he has his back to the actors. You can see that again in the replay if you're interested, because he's looking at the screen that's giving.
The screen that was on the.
Yeah, the screen on the side that's rendering the actors as the characters, like a basic version of Aloy and Morland already, that following along with the actors.
Yeah.
And the reason he does that is because, as I said earlier, as a body actors, we're not recording their face, because the face is coming from the voice actors. But as humans, right, we're very, very conditioned to look at people's faces, and when we see people.
Yeah.
But the thing is here, because we're just recording the body, PJ needs to assess the quality of the body acting without being distracted by the body actors' faces, because we're not recording them. So they are immaterial. So to avoid being distracted, to avoid going, oh, that was very, really good acting, but maybe it's actually more about the facial expression.
Yeah.
But to really focus his attention on the body, he turns his body away from the actual actors, and he looks at the body animation that's being rendered on the screen.
So that's so interesting. So just knowing what your focus is and what your goal is, basically. Wow, that's very, very cool. How many cameras do you have going at once in a scene like the one just shown?
So mocap cameras, we have about 50 around.
50.
Around that's the camera that tracks the markers.
Yeah.
So 50 cameras all around the room, which you could see in the video, and they're tracking the markers. And then we have 4 reference cameras, actual cameras, that takes the footage that you just saw.
Or for that, okay.
Yeah, they film the footage that you just saw.
Yeah.
So the actual actors. Yeah. And then every angle of the. Sorry, we have three cameras. We don't need the 4th angle. 3 reference cameras are in the corners of the room. Yeah. And then that footage of the actors there gets used by the animators when they're cleaning up the animation. Then they can refer to that if they're not sure, what was the actor intending here.
Oh, very cool.
For example,
that's a good question.
Something typically that needs to be refined in animation is the fingers.
Okay,
Because figure capture can be a little finicky.
Do
or,
they like? Do you put
they have like three markers on the fingers.
Yeah.
So we get some finger motion, but
Okay.
animators can need to go in
Okay.
and refine that. And so if they're not sure what the actor exactly was doing, they
Yeah.
can go in and
Oh,
see
learning something new. PPE stands for person. Oh, I see
Someone
what they
answered
already
it.
answered. Yeah,
Yeah.
personal. Okay, so before we go back into the game, so just so you know, I don't think we're gonna make it to.
Ah.
We have 15 minutes.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
why. But what we're gonna do, we're just gonna
Yeah.
open the next giveaway very quickly.
Is it okay if I like move
Go
towards?
for it. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. I think we're. Yeah, I'm gonna go back to the game screen so you can watch
All right,
Marion
yeah.
do her thing. But I'm also gonna open the giveaway as well again.
What is first?
So this is the second kit that you could win. Remember, the kit included Claudia, but you can name the Class Rider something else. The Horizon umbrella, which is very heavy duty, very, very useful. The pin set, the beanie. I don't know why I said the beanie. Some prints, and the Horizon cookies. I think I forgot something. And some. Did I say everything? I think I said everything.
This is a umbrella.
And the umbrella. I think I got everything. Yeah.
I'm sure.
So we'll just use the same prompt. Enter the giveaway using !Aloy in the chat, please. It doesn't have to be capital A. It could be lowercase a. Type in !Aloy. And we'll draw a winner while we play. I mean, what do you think we could do in 50 minutes? Do you think we could get there?
Possibly we can rush there. I need to talk to Valis and then I just need to meet him there. We might be able to.
How long do you think we will need? Because we could go slightly over, if you don't mind. If you don't mind.
Oh wait, I do have a train to catch, but I'm fine going a little over.
Like, let's say 10 minutes?
Yeah, easy.
Okay, community, do you want to stay an extra 10 minutes for the stream?
No, I can definitely stay like an extra 15 to 20.
15? Okay, let's do that. Let's do that. You wanna stay an extra?
Sorry,
Yeah,
what
yes,
is-
everyone's saying yes. Let's do an extra. We got a trophy. Well, we're
Sorry,
300%
Valis,
in it.
skipping that because we're going to.
Underway.
I am down. All right, as long as you're down for an extra
No,
10 to 20
I would
minutes.
stay here for like 5 hours. Like, in case you haven't noticed, I love talking about my job.
Yeah,
There's a
it's
lot of,
great. They love hearing about it. I love hearing about it. Give us all the overtime. Run,
but
Aloy,
also,
run.
Also, we have, if you recall, we have a little anecdote story to
Yes,
share
yes,
as well.
yes.
Yeah.
You have to share
Maybe
that.
we can
you
keep
have
that
to
for the end of
There's
the
no
next-
way that we can bring that up organically with the way that we're
No.
going. But Marion has a really, really fun story, which I know you will all love. There's a little hint. They're in the room with us right now.
Oh yeah.
It's not the ghost that keeps messing up with our audio, by the way.
Who could it be about?
Who could it be about?
Yeah.
We love your passion for what you do.
Oh, someone found it.
Oh. We'll save the story. We'll save the story.
They know.
The sponge, not the sponge. All right, we have a couple of entries. Again, if you did not enter for the giveaway, type in !Aloy. I'm gonna close it very, very soon. It's very inspiring as an indie dev to hear these things. Says
Oh,
just
that's
Simi. Oh,
amazing.
that's really nice.
That
That's very nice
that
to hear.
means it's a world
That
to
must
me,
mean a
really.
lot. Yeah.
No, I love indie games. You guys are amazing.
Yeah, great
so,
job.
Yeah,
Just with everything that everyone always does. Great job for everybody.
that
Okay.
means a lot. Yeah. It's,
I'm gonna give 5 more seconds for the giveaway. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's close it.
Find something interesting
All right.
inside.
So I am going to announce the winner. I hope Moobot does their thing unless they are sleeping again. The winner is Nausicaa_Twitch.
Congratulations.
Yay, congratulations.
One hand clap.
One hand clap from Marion. Thank you for joining us on the stream today and entering.
I think we're getting there.
Felipe, I wish I could join. Do you want something? Come upstairs. Nausicaa_Twitch. Is Moobot still... Ah, there you are. So yes, please send us a whisper on our Twitch account, and please send us your full name, your email address, your phone number, and your, well, address, so that we have that all in one go for shipping. Perfect. All right, so I'm going to close this now. We are done with Moobot. Oh,
Okay, we're getting to Barren Light. I think we might honestly do it.
we
It's,
could do it. Moobot also has jet lag and took off work. Well, you know what? Anna and Shantae are still here, so Moobot has to answer for... Oh, this laptop is updating.
Also, not my department, but a quick shout out. I think you had them on stream as well. But quick shout out to like the Living World team for this kind of amazing stuff. Like,
Go watch... Oh, wait, is Espen's talk?
I don't know if it's on YouTube, but
gonna
also
ask
there
him.
was. I remember you guys wrote an article about their work for the release of the game. The
Yes,
first
so if
edition.
you go back to our PlayStation blog, Bo wrote a blog where she interviewed Steve and Espen talking about bringing the world of Horizon to life. And Espen's GDC talk actually had that specific, the wheel example, which I thought was really, really interesting. But I don't know which GDC talks are available to watch.
I'm not sure.
We'll try to hunt that one down.
See, okay,
and
Baron,
see.
I'm in.
Oh,
I
we're
wasn't sure it was
here.
the entrance suddenly.
I
Okay.
actually like watching the sawmill. Yeah, you know what? The sawmill is exactly the example that Espen had used in his talk, and it's so interesting. So I will try to go find it.
Like that's
Yeah,
you know,
all the loops
it's
and
all
just
the
the way that it.
people-
Yeah,
All right. I should find
people living their lives, doing their stuff.
I read that. It's a very good article. Yeah.
All right, I don't think I came in through the front door, but
No,
that's
you didn't.
okay. That's all
Hacky way.
right.
As
Let's
long as
see.
you don't look at the chain coming out of the water, because that thing has its own special understanding of physics, and that's kind of what a lot of the game dev solutions are as well. Again, it's about what the player sees
Yeah.
and what they don't see.
All right. Oh, hey, Aaron. Sorry, we're not connecting to you. We have no time.
Sorry, Aaron.
Wait, there's a little silly thing I like to do here.
Okay,
which
what
is
do you
like
like to do?
this incline is just steep enough that you can do. Unless it was changed. There we go.
That's so cute.
So I like doing this when I'm going up this incline.
That's so funny. I never noticed that.
Got a secret
before.
title. I'm sorry, we're not getting. Oh wait, we are. Sorry, never mind. We are gonna see him because he's at the embassy. Of course. I was like, because I was thinking, you know, when you meet him at the
No, but
at
this
the
he's in
bulwark.
the-
But
yeah, yeah.
we are absolutely
Yeah.
gonna see Kotaro.
One of my
Hi,
favorite
Lamont.
streamers is playing Forbidden West for the first time and currently and keeps being amazed at how beautiful and detailed the world and the mocap of the game are. That's very, very nice to hear.
What brings Aloy?
I've literally never gone into that part of Barren Light before. The handwalk is my favorite.
Yeah,
It's so cute.
I actually did not know you could enter Baron Knight through that side. So you know,
You learned something new
we
today, too.
improvised. I like Lawan a lot.
I
I love his voice. I like a voice actor did a great job.
Yeah.
Love everything.
The
about him. There's a
what
scroll,
he's
like-
wearing.
Yeah, look, did you see this bit about the scroll? Like that's, for example, that's something that's like might come up from a discussion with the actors,
Yeah.
right? Because it's like, okay, this is your character, you're kind of being sarcastic,
Yeah.
and you're making fun of this priest who read like scrolls. And it's like, oh, what
Yeah.
if I do this when you're talking about the
Yeah.
scrolls to make fun of him? And, like a lot of stuff is born. I think Ishmael also addresses that in his talk.
Yeah,
Lots of
yeah.
stuff is born
Yeah.
from like discussion with the actors.
Yeah.
As well.
I really, really, really recommend that you go watch Ishmael's talk. It is really, really interesting. Give us the Lawan cut.
Yeah, I see that Lawan and Ragut get mentioned. There's much further in the game, Porguf. We won't be able to show that scene, but
no.
Porguf is also one of our favorite scenes that we worked on because he was so much fun. He's very animated. He's very, you know. He's really trying to get to like sweet talk Aloy a little bit to his side,
Yeah.
etc. But he
Yeah.
also has a definite like vulnerability to him because he has two quests that are about him.
Yeah.
And so you have a quest where you have to find a family heirloom for him. It's just characters that we get to re-explore in a different quest
Yeah.
are really cool.
Yeah.
So Dela and Boomer, of course. I mean, of course, some of our favorite. We didn't really have time to talk to
Yeah.
them, but yeah.
We did do it recently on a stream, though.
Oh, here is
Porguf is so
Conover.
animated.
Conover, hello, and Ebril. And love, if you haven't seen it, love the little conversation that after Conover's quest, where they are both keeping watch at the front of Barren Light. They're just chilling with Ebril, and they have and Conover is still mad at Ebril, and Ebril goes, "Well, do you want some kind words or hug?" Okay, let's go talk to to these two beautiful human beings.
Oh yeah,
Some of
our
the-
favorites,
some of
our best
faves.
friends.
I mean,
Don't you love them, everyone?
Wadis is wonderful. We had so much fun with Wadis.
Yeah.
He was also one of the very first characters we worked on, and we did
I can imagine this being really fun, though,
Yeah, he
because
is very
he's
fun.
such a...
And we did some placeholder content with Wadis early on,
Yeah.
because again, you work with kind of what's really established.
Yeah.
And so Wadis, we had some.
Oh, wait a second. One used to have a shaved head and bushy beard.
And it was. I remember him having a beard. I do remember that.
Interesting.
Actually. That's actually.
So
a
the
good
devs
point.
in our chat are also giving some Easter eggs. You should be paying attention to the chat if you're not reading.
Was that by a dev?
Felipe. Fun fact.
Felipe, yeah.
He used to have a shaved head and bushy beard.
You're just
Oh, maybe. Maybe. I don't. Yeah, I do not remember.
Sorry. Yeah. I mean,
But,
I wasn't. Yeah.
Possibly. It's,
So the story, the fun to work with the
Oh
actor.
yeah. So.
Oh, Aloy looks so badass. Here.
Yeah, she is
God,
not.
look at her.
She is not pleased.
you mean?
So if we had some placeholder content, and I think
Yeah.
one of our, I think it was Jochen, so the cinematics director,
Yeah.
recorded some placeholder content. I think it was him for Wadis,
Yeah.
and so it was very fun to get to work with these example scenes with. I'm going now.
Yeah.
Yeah, with. When you hear your colleagues kind of play characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just being like really.
It must be
just-
fun. It must be
yeah.
fun.
No, Wadis is very
For
fun
me,
to
PJ
to
will
hate.
always be. What is?
Okay, PJ is the one that. So PJ actually was the one
okay.
who.
Oh, that's funny.
Thank you, Jorn. Is the one who recorded stuff for.
That's funny.
For Wadis, and yeah, so you can still hear him.
Varl. Our boy Varl. Our baby boy. I love this scene so much.
Yeah. So again, this is a scene where we are dealing with like big distance. Lots of things are happening.
Yeah.
And so dealing with the NPCs in this scene, I remember, was complicated. I spent a lot of time putting the obstacles down so that,
I'm asking.
Bare and Light would still be animated. You can still see people,
Yeah.
cleaning, etc., but not get into the way of the scene.
Aaron and Varl together.
Because for a while it was so difficult.
Love
We're
this
like, what if we
posse.
just hide all the NPCs in the scene, because it was so difficult. And then after a while we like worked at it really hard, and now it's there still.
Oh, I'm so
there.
glad. Yeah, I'm
But
so
yeah.
glad.
Because you don't want obviously the city to suddenly be dead
Yeah.
during the cinematic, but getting it in a place where characters were walking around without disturbing the scene was quite difficult. I
Yeah.
remember.
Broseps.
A lot, again, a lot of stuff. So this is from the stuff we're gonna see from here is like the wider cinematics team. So there's
Yeah.
and now the distinction is for Burning Shores, the distinction was a lot less. Like we mixed up the teams more, but
Yeah.
at the time, so cinematics was dealing with those kind of really. You can see how much is more of a set piece. Like
Yeah.
very, very important scene this is.
Yeah.
So lots of things are happening, and scenes like these are prepared, very carefully.
Yeah, I'm sure.
They have, because for these typically the team would have a little bit more certainty about what would be happening.
Yeah.
Because it's like main story beats, it might not change as much as
Yeah,
some of our
yeah.
conversation content.
Yeah.
So you can afford to go a little bit. You can go really complicated with props and location. You
Yeah.
know where characters are gonna be,
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
I guess I do.
Let's go and meet the Tanaks.
All right. Here's the big scene. The big
There
epic
they are.
scene.
So many characters. Lots of characters to deal with, and
Yeah.
then mounts and mounted combat, and they did
The environment.
they did
the
an
set.
incredible work. Job on this.
This was a really good intro into
Mm-mm.
Forbidden West.
Hold on now. Let's take it easy.
None may walk this valley in
So was this fully acted then?
That was our
So
Do you know?
I didn't work on the shooting of this,
Okay.
so I don't want to tell you something wrong.
Okay.
It's
but they opened
I'm not sure.
You're not sure.
It's
Okay.
it was shot not here. It was shot on a bigger stage.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, we can ask that.
Mm-mm.
Someone. Gotta talk to Fasha for 4 years.
Oh, excuse me, we're very proud of the Fashav conversation. No, but Fashav is a really good example of because same like Fashav's bit.
Meme. You know what? There's some love for Fashav in the chat.
Yeah, no, Fashav is a bit that is a conversation bit.
Yeah.
So it just
I really like Fashav too.
it's connected. I really like Fashav as well,
Yeah.
and yeah, he doesn't tell. He's like, oh, it's a long story. I can tell you later. You know, and then, no, yeah.
And then
Yeah. Let's just say you better listen to Fashav's story now.
oh, Joran says this scene they were shot on the big stage. I remember exporting these.
All
That
right.
was
Yeah.
fun.
No, I'm not surprised. This is
Big
probably with a
stage.
lot of actors.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Fashav's scene is amazing. He made such an impact with only this one conversation.
So actually, this conversation with Fashav, I remember we recorded this. So this bit now is it's seamless, but this was then recorded here now in
Also,
in,
this
as
is
a
a
conversation.
this is a conversation.
Now. Yeah,
Okay.
We are going from this complex
See how
scene to
seamless it is?
that was the goal. Is really to
Can't
do
even
that.
tell.
Because now we're just talking with Fashav, so this is
Yeah.
more our
Your
our stuff
team,
again.
yeah.
And again, this was when we did Forbidden West. On Burning Shores, the structure of the team changed a little bit, and now
Yeah.
we're a single big team.
Yeah.
Because as you can see, the difference is not obvious. So
Yeah.
why still have two separate teams, right? But yeah, I remember we shot this Fashav conversation in our old studio, so we had a much smaller mocap room. And here's a fun tidbit about Fashav. Again, we were not sure what he would look like. We did know he would have tattoos on one side of his body. We were not sure what side.
Okay.
This is actually a good example of where we chatted with the concept art team. Because we had to decide on a side when we
Yeah.
shot, because he gestures towards them.
Yeah.
This is why I just went to tattoos. Tell us about your tattoos, Fashav. Here you go. So you can see Allard's looking at a proper side.
Like doing this. Yeah.
So, but we had to pick this side, right, on the stage. So we are looking at the side, and then later we had to talk with concept art to make absolutely sure
That it was the right.
they would give him the Tanakh tattoos on that side, actually.
Okay. So that's where a little bit like collaboration happens.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Real
Yeah,
time.
I mean, I think every dev on this stream will, like, if there's one thing I tell you in common, it's like it's all a huge collaborative
It's
effort.
all
And it's all extremely intertwined. Should I ask Fashav about his very extended story? How much time do we have?
We have it's
Oh, we're over
5:03
time.
now.
Okay,
so
let's just go into the and then I think after this
the big scene.
after the big scene we have to wrap up. Yeah,
let's do
we don't
it.
have time to talk to Fashav for 4 years. Sorry, Fashav. we will listen to your story
Sorry,
later.
Fashav.
Oops.
We used to call the rite of passage the Snickers bar when we were animating that scene.
That's an animated joke. I don't
Oh,
remember
okay.
that.
Can you care to elaborate a little bit, Felipe?
source of it
The
all was
Snickers
on the
bar?
list.
Why?
And I'm the only one.
I have no clue.
Hmm.
Maybe because she gets given a token and we didn't know what the token was gonna be. I do not know. That one I don't. It's exactly that. It's the dagger
okay.
because the dagger that he has when we were mocapping it, like this thing.
This
This thing,
okay.
because when mocapping this, he just had a stick because
Yeah.
we didn't know what the dagger was actually gonna look like.
Yeah.
So he just has a little stick, and then
they called it the
and so the
Snickers
animators,
bar.
when working on the data, would see it
Okay.
as a stick, and it would
Very
become
cool Easter egg.
That is actually very funny.
That's
I
cute.
did not know that. That is
that's
very
so cool.
funny because I can see it. Like now, if you imagine,
It does look. Yeah.
If he's
it's like a
like,
chocolate
I'm
bar.
giving you the Snickers. No, I'm not.
You want the chocolate? No.
No.
Have you been good?
Okay.
No?
Okay. Now you can have the Snickers.
Tanakh
yes,
Snickers.
delicious. Okay, is that okay for us to say this brand name that many times on this stream? Too late. It's done now.
You know what? I always eat Kit Kats here.
All right. Yeah. Let's just equalize it.
I bring Cokes in
There we
here.
go. Oh, I remember having to figure out where what these
This one?
banners were gonna be and etc. etc. Here he is, our boy.
Oh, our boy Kotalo.
Kotalo no Shir, hello.
I like how we both. We just made a noise at the same time.
Also one of my favorite characters.
Oh,
Like it's,
100%.
Absolutely.
100%.
Loved working on this conversation in the hub.
Yeah.
That's the thing I wanted to say as well.
Yeah.
I think I said at the beginning of the stream that I really like fan art and fan fiction. Like when
Oh yes.
that actually relates to the story later.
Yeah.
But when Forbidden West came out, the first thing I did was go and look for all the fan art, and like I read all the fan fiction like in those first months that came
guys,
out.
you know she's in there.
I'm sure there's like some fan fiction writers in the chat.
Oh,
so,
100% for sure.
Thank you for what
Thank
you
you
do.
for your service.
Anyway, why was I bringing this up?
Oh,
Yes,
Kotalo.
yes, Kotalo, because
I know the story.
because there is a bit of Kotalo conversation in the base that I really like when we shot it, which was a bit about seashells, and that bit also, like at one point he discovers what seashells are,
Stop tagging me.
and we really like that bit. And then that bit also resonated with the fans.
Yeah.
And that was amazing. And just so now there's a lot of fan art.
What
of
was that
Cthulhu.
line, just in case some people in the community
So,
might not know?
It's when after you bring back Poseidon, which is the Gaia subfaction that deals with oceans and sea life.
Yeah.
And so every companion in the base learns about things about the old world and is pertaining to the sea.
Yeah.
And Cthulhu tells you, "Oh, I learned something incredible. The old ones thought that you could hear the noise of the ocean if you held the carcass of a sea animal to your ear." And they call them seashells. And he's like has this kind of really childlike wonder. Oh, Regala, hello.
Regala.
Angela.
Oh my God, Angela Bassett. So good.
The queen speaks.
I think Regala is just like one of the best. I don't even want to say like.
I think her design and she has a ton of presence. Her design.
It's
is
just
amazing.
I don't want like is she a villain? Well, okay, fine, villain, anti-hero. I don't know. She has her own sort of.
She's really
you know?
interesting, and it's I mean you.
I support women's wrongs.
Yes. Is wrong, absolutely. But
Angela Bassett did the thing.
obviously at the end of the game when
Antagonist,
you
that's
face
the thing.
her for the last time, you do whatever you like.
Yeah.
But if you don't spare her, you do miss out on about 10 to 15 minutes of Angela Bassett dialogue.
Oh, I
And
definitely.
why would you do that to yourself?
100%. That's why it's like I want more Angela Bassett in my.
Yeah.
She's regal, 100%.
But yeah, sorry, so just to finish off with the Cthulhu thing
Yeah.
that we were talking about, like now there's a ton of fan art of Cthulhu with
with
seashells,
the
or with
seashell,
Allard
yeah.
bringing, like of Allard giving him a seashell, and it's extremely
It's
special.
so touching,
It's
right?
very
to
special
see
to work.
that kind of impact.
Yeah, to work on a scene,
Yeah.
and then you like the scene, and then it resonates with fans, and
Yeah.
then they.
That's
you know,
it's what these moments that you
It's
like.
really,
It's
really cool.
it's the work of conversations design. Isn't
Well,
it?
of
Marion. of everybody.
Of about like 400
yeah.
people.
Yeah, but it's also like when you specifically work on something too. It's like it
But yeah,
impacts
like
the
it's,
fans and
But you also, especially if you were a fan yourself before, you
Yeah.
have some good ideas about what fans are gonna
Yeah.
like, and so you're like, oh.
you can
this
kind of
is-
add
this
those
is
little
really
moments
good.
in. Yeah.
So,
You created something truly incredible.
no.
There's art of him standing in a seashell like the painting.
Oh yeah, I think I saw that. Yeah. No, it's great. Like, no.
I'm here for all the
No,
seashell fan art.
fan creators, please, we do see it. We love it. It's
Yes.
It's,
Like Idris before she left, I know, sad that Idris left, but her desk and her screensavers, wallpapers, like it was all fan art.
yeah, no, of course. It's
All fan art.
I have some hanging around my desk
Yeah,
as well.
yeah,
Like,
and you
it's,
know that Anna has the sticker. We love it.
No, but I'm really big on fan fiction because
Yeah.
to me that's an amazing way to extend the world and the
Oh,
characters. and-
No one's gonna. Oh, well, I'm not gonna say it, but I was very, very much into fan. I've gone back to reading fan fiction actually, so I'm just gonna leave it there.
Should we? Because we're gonna have to wrap up. Should we tell that? That means a lot. Yeah, for it was. I know you don't want me to. You went. Oh no, but I definitely saw your work. So there you go. Little shout out.
Oh, that's very cute.
Should we tell the
How much longer is this cinematic?
I mean, we're gonna have some combat and a lot of stuff is gonna happen.
Before the Cthulhu part, or after?
I mean, the Cthulhu is gonna get injured like about soon. Yeah.
Okay.
This cinematic is a three-parter. You do part of the fight, and then there's more robots, and then machines, and then there's what's his name? Regala's henchman is gonna fight you.
This is a long one,
I
right?
forgot his name.
Let's go to the end of the first part.
Yeah. And we
This is very, very. This is epic.
Yeah, this is No, this. I mean, you can imagine. You see, look at Grada. Thank you. But yeah, looking at this, and also with with everything I explained about how to do simple conversations of just
Yeah.
people talking, and looking at this,
Yeah.
you can really imagine just how much work this was.
Oh, 100%.
How much
Look at
people
all of
this
this.
took.
And on
Like,
that,
it's,
Dr. Bat says, "Bravo, Marion and the team. Great work. You all deserve stroopwafel."
Yeah. But yeah,
The
it's,
cinematics here are amazing.
like, because all of these weapons they're handling, etc. These are all props, so all
Yeah.
of this needs to be thought about.
Yeah.
And yeah, here we go, combat. So yeah, that cinematic. I really wanted to show at least some of that because
Yeah, we're not going to be able to do all of it because it is such a big,
yeah.
big scene.
But that's some of the best
go
work of the
to-
broader cinematic team, and it's that took months of work.
Yeah,
You
the
know,
embassy
it's,
is just spectacular.
yeah,
honestly,
so-
months of work.
No, it's one of my favorite parts.
I
and
mean,
they
it's
were-
so epic. It's like the way that you enter into, oh, good afternoon to everyone at Guerrilla. Hello, Edward. We are actually just wrapping up. We went through Chain Scrape. We did a few conversations that you shared some insights on. We did a little bit of the embassy cinematic, which we really wanted to show just because of how complex and grand it was. Marion showed a lot of behind the scenes props and everything. We showed a little bit of the video. If you're interested, we'll definitely put up the VOD so you can rewatch it. But there was basically when we were prepping for the stream, Marion, we were going over, what we were going to share and things like that. And you shared this one story, which is not very specific to anything we played so far, but I thought it was hilarious that you have to tell the story because I feel like the chat will so appreciate it.
It's
And
really
when I
funny.
said they're in the subject matter of the story is in the room with us. Wait, where is it?
Where is he? They're over there.
I'll pull him closer. But Marion, why don't you tell us the story?
yeah.
Because I just thought it was so funny.
So also, this is spoiler territory, by the way.
Spoiler
Yeah.
for. Well, I mean, we.
It's spoiler
for
for quests, for a side quest that's much later in the game, but I feel like a lot of people
Spoiler
here,
alert
yeah.
regarding Nil. So if you
Yeah.
don't want to be spoiled, leave now.
Yeah, but so I think a lot of people here have played the game,
Yeah,
and so
yeah,
they know. So they probably know that, this has to do with the racing side quests. So you race those Tenarchs, and at the end of so you have this mysterious red teeth called a rider with him, and at the end of the quest, if you beat all four races, that red teeth reveals himself to be Nil.
Yeah.
And so this is like side content. So we were finishing this up towards the end of production. And so at the end of production, you have to spin a lot of plates, right?
Yeah, yeah.
you're like polishing up a lot of stuff. Like you saw how many like little. So you have 1,000 little things to think of. And so you're in
final mode.
You're in final mode. You're
mode.
wrapping up.
Yeah.
And so if you remember that scene, so Nil reveals himself. He has this helmet and he takes the helmet off. And the thing is, helmets. Can be a little, like not too hard, but a little extra thing to pay attention to when the
Let me see if I
characters have hair.
Oh, I mean, you can see it. You can see the.
Because when the characters have hair, right, the hair might intersect with the helmet.
Yes.
So this is context, and yeah. Also, I gave context as well earlier that my team kind of knows me as the
It's
Horizon.
too far back. I can't grab it.
I mean,
but it's okay.
they know.
Yeah,
they
you
know our boy.
it.
Yeah. But so yeah, the cinematics director at the time knew that I was like a big Horizon 1 fan, and and so at one point during that end of production, we're doing a lot of things, and my lead and kind of the director comes to my desk and goes, Marion, does Nil have hair? Ask me that, and so I go, And so I think back, and I'm like, well, he has the helmet,
the helmet
in the Horizon 1.
Yeah.
And so we don't ever really see, like, presumably, yes, he does, but I don't ever really see that. And then the director, then he goes, oh, so he can be bold then. Because again, basically, if he was bold, that was saving us some.
You're in final mode, so you can move. You can proceed.
That's so it's like it's if he's bold, then we don't have to worry about the helmet intersecting with the hair, so it's a good thing.
Yeah.
And so he's like, oh, so he can just be bold, and I went.
No,
because again, big Horizon 1 fan, and and I knew, I was like, oh no, because I knew how.
I always thought of Nil with hair.
How popular of a character Nil was,
Yeah.
and again, had very much engaged with fan and so.
And don't get me wrong, that like. There are some very handsome bald,
very
bald men
handsome
out there.
Yeah, very
but I always pictured Nil
exactly.
with hair because the helmet gives the hair illusion.
Yes, it gives.
So you can't picture him without just nothing all of a sudden.
Exactly. So exactly that, right? Like it's like I knew that fans always I'd always pictured Nil with hair, right?
Yeah.
And I knew how popular he was because
Yeah.
I'd been a big fan of the first game.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, all right, what do I do, kind of, and I kind of go, I speak to this director, and I go,
Yeah.
well, in all the fan art and all the fan fiction I've seen, like he always has hair,
Yeah.
and then
It was already sort of
please, and it's kind of like that, and so it becomes
please give him hair.
it becomes this discussion, right, of like, okay, but this, is like, Marion, is this really that important? Like, yeah,
It is important. That's important.
and so my lead kind of like processes that information. We have this discussion, and he kind of processes that and kind of leaves.
Oh
And then
my God, that's so
a
funny.
little later, like maybe an hour later or so, he comes back to my desk and he goes, okay, come with me. All right, and so doesn't tell me anything, just come with me. And we go over to the character art department.
Yeah.
And we stroll over, and there is a character artist there who has on his computer has an array of male Karja haircuts, on display, just a gallery. And my lead just like brings me to the desk and goes, all right, pick. and so one of my proudest contributions in Forbidden West is I picked Neil's hair, and so I made really sure. To be like I was like, this is my
I'm
moment.
crying just hearing this.
This
again.
is my
Oh
moment. I'm
God.
like, I saw it back. I'm like, okay, how is it pictured? Like usually in front, and I picked the head I was like closest to it.
Yeah.
An extra funny bit is so Idris again, what we talked about a lot. Was like a super fan of Neil.
Yeah.
And she still is, right? She just left.
Yeah.
But and so I tell her this story immediately, and she goes, "You told them to make the hair black, right?" So I go back to the character and I'm like, "Make it black."
Oh my God.
And then then my director was like, "Okay, fine, he can have hair, but you are implementing it." And then in the scene, I implemented it so.
Yeah.
He's secret. He's actually bald until the moment he takes the helmet off.
Again, one of those things that the player
it's like a
doesn't
technical
see.
thing.
Yeah.
Because if he had the helmet and the hair would
Just would have
intersect
been-
with it. It would
yeah.
be complicated.
Yeah.
So he's bald under the helmet.
Yeah.
And then the second he takes the helmet off, I toggle the hair on, boop, right as he's taking it up, and he had it all along.
So
And,
the chat, magic helmet, nil in the background. that hair made him hot. Thank you for your service.
And so
Schrodinger's hair.
it's really one of one of the things I'm like happiest about because
Your contribution.
because like now whenever I
Oh
see
my God! Hi, Shanti's mom. Hello.
hello,
We're
Shanti's
wrapping
mom.
up, but
we're
we're just sharing a funny story.
but yeah when now whenever I see like a fan art of him without the helmet or like a fan fiction that mentioned his hair in some way,
It's
I'm
like
really like
he may
you're
not
welcome,
have had.
you know?
Yeah, I think it just would have been really jarring because if you see a character all the time with like a big so it's not even like a hat. It's like a big elaborate headpiece that looks like hair.
Yeah, but it's like it's the first time you saw his hair in game properly. So I think because he is at that point trying to pass as a Tenax.
Yeah.
Right, and the Tenax are often bald, so
Yeah.
I think it would have been fine.
It makes sense.
It would have
Yeah.
made sense
Yeah.
for that. You would have like in the law it would have been something like to be a Tenax, he got rid of his kind of Karja styled hair or
Yeah.
something, right? But
To be fair though, I think I would like to see some fan art of like bald Nil. Yeah, because
now we have spoken it into the world.
Honestly, sometimes when like with like bald styles, like you really see like the chiseled, right? So I don't know, go crazy community. Show me something.
we have spoken it into
He
the
would
world
rock.
now.
He would rock a bald head. I think he would. 100%. But we also appreciate the hair. Thank you for your service, Marion.
I mean, it makes for like I'm really glad I got to tell that story because it's one of my favorite stories of the whole.
Yeah, and honestly, if the fan art was also, like, it's just the way that there was. I would not mind seeing a buzz cut Nil. Now we're just imagining him with different hairstyles.
Maybe I made a
Maybe
huge
you started
mistake.
a thing.
Yeah, maybe I made a huge mistake. And everyone
Maybe
was
he was
actually,
bald one time. Nil lore, right? It's a whole thing.
I mean, he's bald under the helmet. So
Exactly. It is canon. It is canon. So what time is it now? It is 5. Mohawk Nil would be okay. You know what? We could probably have a whole stream just talking about Nil.
Specifically.
Don't forget to take the train. So yes,
Yes,
it is
absolutely.
5:20. We do have to wrap it up. We have to wrap it up. But thank you everybody for joining. This was so much fun for you to join and ask Marion all these questions. And Marion, thank you so much for joining. It was such a pleasure to have you on. I was so excited to have you because I knew that your stories were going to be so good. I hope you all enjoyed listening to the insights and everything. So I will add this as a VOD. Giveaway winners, I will get in touch with you and make sure that gets to you soon. And Marion, hopefully we see and hear more from you soon because you have way more to say. Go read the blog if you haven't. Marion also shared some insights there. So we're going to wrap it up now, 5:20, and we will see you very shortly, very soon, hopefully next week. Stay tuned, and happy Horizon Forbidden West Complete Edition launch day.
Yeah. Have fun, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you for tuning in. Bye.
Yay!